Welcome to the Any Last Words Pod. My name is Earl Lonnie Hooks. A very special thanks to everybody that will be joining us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, as well as YouTube. The God in me honors the God in each and every one of you. Oh, were you going to finish it for me?
But then you cut me off. So.
Today, I happen to have two young ladies here. This is going to be an interesting one for various reasons. I'm very excited about this because you guys have no idea why you're here right now. So I believe that the combined power of these two individuals combined are unstoppable, unrivaled.
Snaps.
Semi-friends of mine.
You know it's better. You know it's better than you knew Muhammad, apparently.
But one of my objectives here today is when you leave, we go from semi-friends to friends.
Okay.
That's a step.
Love that.
That's a conscious step I'm taking.
You know what I call that?
Mikhail. I'm sorry, tell me what it is for the people to hear. Tell us.
No, it's fine because you're not going to act like you don't know what my name is after you said Mikhail.
And Sil.
Thank you.
Now, do you just want to keep it like cool? Because I know some people like to be like Sil, just Sil. You just want to do that, like
Sil's fine.
Okay, that's all. No last names. We don't need to get into any of that. Here's the thing. I don't really know who either one of you are. I did this. No, Mikhail. Don't hold on a second because I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm getting at with this because I've already talked to her a little bit about it. She kind of knows where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Like having Mo on here since you brought him up.
Mm-hmm.
He is a friend of approximation, right? Like through proximity, through other friends, he's there.
Right.
You are Mikey's sister.
Yeah.
So you were just around to see me and the guys run around and do a bunch of wild shit. But the only difference between me and the rest of the guys that she knows that are Mikey's friends is that they all played sports and I did not play sports with them.
That's true.
So therefore you created a different sort of bond with the rest of those guys than you did me. I was around when I was around, but when I wasn't.
Not necessarily.
No?
No, I wouldn't say so. I don't think in my head, in my head I don't associate these people who played sports and these people who did not. It's just, I associate you guys all together.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's interesting that you do that, though, in your head.
I did. I thought I definitely thought that I was just like on the outskirts of the circle.
Yeah. Oh, no,
because
not.
I didn't play dodgeball with you guys.
There's definitely different characteristics that we associate each person with.
Yeah, man, because they would because their dodgeball team was something serious.
Their dodgeball team?
I saw you there before. Yeah, y'all's dodgeball team.
Yeah, I'm just
y'all's dodgeball team.
Let me go ahead.
It was just different, and y'all took the game very seriously. Y'all take every game very, very seriously, and I just don't think I'm cut from the same cloth as you all, and that's just acknowledgement. That's just awareness.
Yeah,
true.
That's all.
That's true.
So it just felt like y'all should have that.
Yeah. But we didn't associate you, and I didn't associate you any differently because of that.
And I appreciate that. I'm just my own. You.
Yes.
I know now. If I feel that way about her,
I'm even further.
Then I know her you through her.
It's even further.
So yeah, you just sealed it. Just popped up in here with the promise hat and the blue hoodie. Like I don't really.
I just popped up today.
So I don't know much of what's going on now.
I feel that.
Meanwhile, I've known this man since I was like 11.
But he doesn't know you like on a personal, deeper level.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll explain it to you this way. This is the same way I did with everyone else that's been on here for the most part. Almost Mikey included. Is this conversation will be our most thorough conversation that we've ever had. I bet you that.
When you say thorough, you mean in length or you mean in content? Because that
both. Probably both.
I wouldn't say.
Also, it's more of a one-on-one situation because there's been times that we've been at headquarters.
Right, deep dive. I feel like every time I talk to Earl,
we've had like we have deep dive conversations. But sometimes I feel like depending on who's in the space, like what was it on Juneteenth? Like we kind of got into like deep conversations.
Wasn't it the J. Cole situation?
No, it was Juneteenth. Remember, like we had the Juneteenth like picnic, and then we was talking about like black men and black women and dating and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we talked about J. Cole too.
It was. Yes.
Because that was the summer. That's yes. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like when we are around, usually at headquarters, I feel like we do have pretty like
in depth. This is just more isolated.
It's more isolated and probably like more like focused on like the things that you may want to like, you know, get to know, because you're actually
and honestly and just the better points of it, because when you have all these people, there are people again screaming over one another. People aren't really listening to each other, so it's really more, a lot of it's about jokes.
It's not very organized
until y'all just like really get in y'all's like bag and start like letting niggas know what time it is. Because y'all do that.
We will do that.
But again, that is the unrivaled combined energy that I'm talking about.
Yes.
You, the other day on a hike, you and I took a hike. It was a beautiful hike, right? Beautiful. Fantastic hike. Waterfalls, you getting attacked by whatever you got attacked by.
Yeah, I got attacked.
Do you still have those marks? It's not, I don't even
not from the bullet wound.
Not from the bullet wound. It was like a bee, by the way.
I don't know anything about this for context because I actually wasn't invited, so.
Okay, first of all, that's a lie. I did invite you. You were out of state. We have the proof in the group chat to show that.
That is very true. Stop being the victim. Stop being the victim. You're strong. You're a strong woman.
It was an afterthought. Let's clear. I don't want to be a strong woman. I just want to be known as a woman who is able to go through strong battles.
Hey, yo.
What? Don't ask me.
You're not going to put that strong woman thing on me, because you know what? When God woke up and made me, he didn't say, you want to what? She gonna be strong and put the world on her back. No.
Hold on.
Put the world on your back. Anybody?
You know that meme of like that woman walking up the stairs with like all that luggage and stuff, and she like hunched over, like going through it. It's like, yes, that's a strong woman. No. I want to enjoy the luxuries of the world and just be able to walk through. You know what I mean?
Undetected.
Yes, like
unbothered.
Right. Yeah.
Not strong, but able.
This is going to bring me to my point about not knowing you guys.
Okay.
We went on the hike. At some point in time, you playing basketball at Liberty came up.
Yeah, okay. That was weird that you didn't know. Like, that's on you, dog. Like, that's on you.
I'm not going to lie. It's kind of...
That's on you. Like...
Why?
Earl.
See, I hate. See, you know, this is what I don't like, when someone can just say like one word, like your name, and then it's supposed to, it's supposed to clear everything up. Earl.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was supposed to know that about you, but I feel like there's a million things that I feel like maybe then you're also supposed to know about me, but you only would because you listen to the podcast. So you don't have a podcast. If you had a podcast, I know a whole lot more about you.
That's a good point.
I mean, I feel like that's normal though, right? Like with any type of podcast, TV show, like music, you're always gonna have people externally that know more about you than you know about them, because you're actively doing that.
Yeah, I know, but again, you acting like
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah,
but it is on you that you didn't know that.
It is on you, but also I can understand where you're coming from. And the respect of like,
we can understand.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from.
But it's on you.
Thank you, woman that can get through strong things in life. Thank you for your support.
You for implementing that.
Yes, absolutely, of course. However you want to be spoken to, that's what I'm going to do here.
Yeah. So I did go to
Fire Round. We're just going to start figuring out some things, and I'm going to come back to Liberty University because I actually have a real question I want to ask you about that.
Sure.
Okay. Fire Round. Syl, your favorite potato chips of all time.
Favorite potato chips?
Your favorite potato chips of all time. I'm hoping that you're not a certain type of person.
I'm sorry. This is going to sound really bad, but it's hard for me to actually decide on favorite.
Oh, okay.
So, and also, too, because like I don't eat like potato chips frequently. So like just because you asked, I'll just say Doritos spicy nacho. Because like that's probably what I would go into the store right now and be like, I want to get that.
The most recent song that has touched you, Mikhail.
Has touched me?
Yes, moved you.
Yikes.
I might know the answer to this, actually.
You can see the Cole song?
No.
Really? That has moved me? I just think that the last song I listened to in the car on the way here, that I just kept replaying, but it didn't necessarily move me.
What's on Donda? Pure Souls? What is it?
Oh, yeah, hold up, because that's hold up, yes. Well, Pure Souls, that one cranks, but the one that got me like...
Praise the Lord is...
Wrap your arms.
Yes. Why can't I think of the name of it? Lord, I need you.
Lord, I need you to wrap your arms around me.
Yes.
You actually sound good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you sound good.
Lord, I Need You on Don.
Can we do a battle? Can you go?
Don't do that.
Why not?
Mikkel consistently, I'll be singing and tell Mikkel, like, look, I could low-key sing. If I had, like, a vocal coach, I feel like I could do well.
Yeah, like, you
she'll
can put
literally she'll be like, I'll be the person on Unsung being like, she can't sing. And she could never sing. And even now, I don't really think she could sing.
Holding a tune is not being able to sing.
The thing is, though, I feel like in order to become a singer, you kind of have to be able to hold a tune. And then from there, you have to, like, train your voice to be able to do that, because being a singer is nothing but training. It's like if you, it's like with anything, you know what I mean? It's like either
it's
you're
an
born,
it's the first instrument.
Either you have talent or you work on the skills so you can become talented. You know what I mean?
You could be a taught singer.
Okay, yeah, you may not have been born with innate talent or innate ability for this thing. Like, you're not necessarily musically inclined.
Right, but I may have, like, the hard skills to be able to shape into it. It's like the same like in basketball or, like, sports. Like, you see some people come out there and they're completely athletic. Mm-hmm. They just be doing it, you know what I mean? Or there are people who are in the gym 24/7 being taught all the skills and stuff like that so they can get to the same place as that person who's extremely talented.
But knowing all of that, is it adequate for you to say, I can sing?
I say I can sing, but I also then...
How serious your face was when you asked the question.
What I always do, though, is I follow it up, where it's like, I can't really sing, but, like, I can kind of do my thing.
I know, okay, you know what I mean? I know exactly.
But I'm never walking around like, hey...
But I think we know exactly what that means. It means that we have migrated outside of the real singer area, like era. Yeah, there are real singers out there, but back in the day, R&B was like everyone sang.
Yes, like you started off in the church, like, you know what I mean? You was doing your thing, like you could. Yeah. Right.
Then it got to a point where, like, Drake came and ruined singing. That's my take.
You ruined the one that ruined
my take is that Drake's a great artist. Yeah. It's fantastic. We all love him.
He ruined singing, or you just don't appreciate some of the songs that he like that.
No. Who was it before? Didn't he?
You don't think T-Pain ruined singing? Just kidding. That was a hot topic.
That's a hot take right there.
Hot topic for a minute.
I think it's because Drake. Do y'all think Drake can sing?
I think Drake can hold a tune.
He can hold a tune.
Yes. Which is what I just said,
we like his tone of voice.
Right. Yeah. I think he's an entertainer.
Yes.
Right. So he's an entertainer.
But Drake is not a singer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, never sings a singer.
If I'm like, oh my gosh, I need some vocals. He's not a vocalist.
And I think after Drake got on the scene, it was okay to not be good at singing anymore. I don't think that's true.
I don't think there were so many artists prior to that. Like, just think about
like T-Pain.
I'm gonna say
not even that, but think about like some of the. I don't want to call them gummy bear artists, but you know what I mean? That we were listening to as kids, and you listen back to it now.
Hold on, wait, no. I'm out. Listen, we're also going to get into this, how just like old I feel. What does gummy bear artist mean?
I'm just saying gummy bears and like, you know, it's just a child. Like, you can't really sing. It's just, you know, just. Okay. Just something off the top of my head. You know what I mean? Like, you really aren't about like.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's not a real. It's not a real. People ain't her saying gummy bear this, gummy bear that.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like that.
I'm saying gummy bears, like, it's kind of like you're a joke as a vocalist.
Yeah,
like, right. You really can't.
You making music for fun.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, you had the image to be a singer. Like, you were made.
Yeah, it's like when you call somebody like a cotton candy nigga. Like,
yeah.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah, that's probably the better cotton candy.
And what?
I just thought about gummy.
I'm gonna say what
the cotton candy.
Yeah, like what the context is, but yeah.
Yeah, like you sweet bubblegum. That's it. Yeah, like I don't want to hear this bubblegum shit.
I was adjacent.
Yeah, that's why like the gummy part.
Context. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It made sense. It was just adjacent. Didn't hit the mark. It was adjacent.
Some type of candy.
Yeah. That children enjoy.
Okay. Forget about Drake and all them, because I don't want to do Mo. If you're listening to this isn't going to be another Drake breakdown. We're not doing that again. That was way too long.
Yeah, Lord, I Need You. That was the most recent song that moved me.
Okay, that was the first round. At any point in time in this podcast, I'm just going to throw random questions at you guys when you're not expecting it.
That's cool.
And it's probably going to go like up, like further up in like intimacy and like weirdness.
Rapid fire.
Did you think about these ahead of time? Or
No.
Off the top of the dome?
No. Most of everything that I do on here is off the top of my head.
Good for you.
Yeah. Okay, here we are.
We're here.
You, Mikkel, Liberty, playing basketball. How long did you play basketball for in your life?
My life?
Yeah, when did you start hooping? When did you pick the basketball up and start dribbling?
When I was 3.
Okay.
So little?
Yeah, that's gonna go to my point. Did you meet her through basketball?
I did meet her through basketball.
When did you start?
I probably started playing basketball like elementary school. I just feel like my mom always had us in so many different sports. So, like, to say the exact age, like, I can't fully remember.
Okay.
But it was definitely, like, elementary school.
And when did you stop playing?
After high school. I mean, I, like, played, like, after, like, like, open gym.
Yeah.
Like, for a while, it was kind of, like, doing, you know, but, like...
You at the Freedom Center balling.
Not even that, like, at SJ, well, now Unity Reed. Like, we would have...
Yes, Unity Reed.
But you know how SJ Lady Raiders got down when it came to basketball, you know what I mean? Like,
I actually do.
It was like the alum came back and, you know, you did pick up and everything like that. So, like, that was going for a while. But then, you know, I didn't really play for real. So.
But competitively high school.
Yeah, competitively high school.
I told you that the young lady that I dated from there did, in fact... I'll be saying all sorts of wild stuff.
The young lady.
Yes, you got to start like that. The young lady that I dated from there, she did admit to me, long after dating that
do I know this young lady?
Yes, you do.
I know her as well.
But not your friend.
Okay.
Anywho, so
okay.
The one y'all make fun of me about.
Okay, no, I don't remember, but I think I know who you're talking about.
She told me at a point in time that she used to wake up every day trying to figure out how she could ruin my day.
I know exactly who you're talking about because I can say some other things that she also did.
And she did that because she felt as though if she just kept badgering me with bullshit, then like something I was hiding would come out, would emerge, and I'd be like, you know what, man, fuck this shit. That's why I'm out here doing this and that and the third, and be like, oh no.
That was wild. That sounds crazy for somebody in high school to do that. Like, but I'm about to say something that's low key, like a little toxic. You know what I mean? But like, she was low key ahead of her time because you know it's women. It's grown women that's doing that like now. You know what I mean?
She was ahead of her time.
She was ahead of her time.
Yeah,
like,
don't say that because
that's why
that means like, oh, she was on to something.
That's why I said let me preface this by saying it's gonna be a little toxic.
Okay.
You know, there are some women who are like, you know, he's not gonna tell me what he's doing, so let me try to like knock him off of his cool.
Let me cause a problem that's not there.
So it can slip. You know what I mean? And sometimes not even like sometimes not even necessarily cause a problem, but it's like, let me throw him off of like his equilibrium. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Because the best way to hold you know what I mean? Like the best way to like hold your secrets is like when you keep your equilibrium intact. You know what I mean? Like when you keep your vibe, you're in control. Zen. But when somebody gets to rocking that,
knock you off kill. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
toxic.
that's okay.
We're toxic nonetheless.
I have some other relationship type questions that I'm going to ask you, and I'm certain that there's going to be some toxic shit that comes along with that. Liberty.
Back to Liberty.
Basketball playing. Well, yeah, because I've heard about this, and it's not hard to fathom.
Mm-hmm.
You were playing since 3 years old.
Right.
You were balling too. See, that's another thing is you were actually hooping like you're good. And that has to be put in there. Like this is an actual important factor. Okay. So you found something you were good at, which is great when you find something you're good at. Like that's fucking awesome, right? Makes you feel good to do it.
Yeah.
Did you, kinda.
No, yeah.
Did you like playing basketball those years? When did it start sucking?
What are we talking about?
When did basketball start sucking?
Well, let me make this clear. It never stopped sucking for me basketball wise.
Started sucking.
Like
you just said it never stopped sucking.
No, I said started.
Okay.
Basketball has never sucked for me, and I'm thankful for that because honestly, probably 100% of my teammates that I played with, every single one of them will tell you like, I couldn't wait to be done with it. I couldn't wait to be out of it. I couldn't wait to graduate. I didn't feel that way, and to this day, like that's still a passion of mine. But I think what you're getting at is like what did I not like about the Liberty Pro? Because I could talk through that, but I was never one of those people to where. And I'm thankful for this because it doesn't usually work out this way where like a coach or program like made me lose my love for that.
Right. Okay.
That's what happens to a lot of
important.
people. That happens. It's not necessarily they wanted to lose love for it. It's like the situation that they was in.
Right.
Like,
and I was in a situation.
Yeah.
But thank the good Lord, like I never stopped loving it, which is why I transferred and kept playing somewhere else.
Right.
But yeah, I absolutely hated it there. Let's just be clear about that. For the record, Liberty Women's Basketball.
How honest we were gonna be.
No, I'm gonna be very honest. Liberty, and I'm very vocal about this. Me and my teammates that I play with, and many people who transfer in that program. That program is toxic, racist, just I don't even know.
Broken.
I don't even know another word to put.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Oh.
Or what? I'm sorry. What was your situation?
I think it's important to also mention they're playing for the Lord.
Okay, you're right. Maybe that does matter in this. That might add some sort of flavoring to what it is you're about to say.
They're doing this is in the Lord's sanctuary.
Yeah, I mean that makes it even worse because it's how you gonna preach to me about X, Y, and Z, and you out here treating us like you know
A, B, and C.
Right? Don't follow the gospel.
Yeah,
just don't follow the gospel.
Right. Just a lot of oh man, there's just so much to unpack there. So I don't even know if we want to go there. But just like
you can unpack one.
Like their transfer rate, number one, is like out this world. Like when I left, there was 5 of us who transferred that same year. Yikes. But even so, we started like going back to like all the people who transferred prior to that. Like the transfer rate is stupid ridiculous. The way that they would treat the black girls on the team versus the white girls on the team was night and day. Like,
but what are they doing to y'all? Like,
okay, so number one, the black girls, we couldn't live off campus. We had to live on campus because we need people to be leaders in the dorms. So we need you girls to be on campus. Okay, well, how come though?
See, they trying to put the black leaders up. You misread that one. They're like, we need some black leaders.
See why I said the strong black woman.
Okay. See, because now you got to start doing stuff like that, like be a leader.
Right. It's like, okay, well, how come
you don't want that responsibility?
Right.
I want to be an everyday person. If I lead, I lead.
Right. So it's that,
or more so, if y'all follow.
Cool.
That's what you. Yeah. Like y'all can follow me, but I'm not necessarily putting myself to be the leader.
Right.
Like
y'all can say that I led y'all,
right?
But you're not gonna come out the gate like,
so what do we do?
You're a leader. It's like,
I'm sick of y'all.
That's a false thing.
This is just the beginning.
Black people, don't.
Yeah. So the black girls, we couldn't live off campus. White girls got to live off campus, but also what ties into that is like, I don't know if you're familiar with cost of living. So like how college athletes help you get paid.
Mm-hmm.
If you lived off campus, you got more money because it technically is supposed to cover your off-campus living. So you got a bigger check. If you lived on campus, you got a smaller check. So that's also a big thing that played into it. It's like, what? Oh, so now we can get that bigger. Now was always a big problem too, where you could some of the coaches that were on the staff were prior players. Not all of them. A couple of them were prior players, and so they felt some type of way that we were getting paid. You know, we're back in the day when they were playing, they weren't getting paid. So it's always some. Well, why don't you use your money for it? Just so whatever. So that was one of the things. You couldn't live off campus. White girls got to live off campus. The language that was used towards some of us.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
Nothing blatant because they not
that word.
Not that who is that man on that nag? Yeah, no, not that word, but making sure that it's certain language to where it's like I can't get in trouble for this, but I'm gonna demean you in a way. So for instance, if one of the black girls would mess up in practice, it wasn't like like you're not paying attention or whatever. It was you're not competent to understand this, very like, let's stop the whole practice and say, I'm just thinking about like one of my teammates in particular.
She having flashbacks.
She got it bad. It was like, you're not competent to, to understand these plays. This is why, you will not see the full, just very demeaning from the
right. Yeah.
White girls. It's like, oh, come on. Like, what's going on? Like, oh, we got to get that. It just, the language was completely different.
Yeah.
One of the former girls who used to play on the team, she was from Compton. And at one time there was a time in the game where, I don't know, things got heated or, between her and another player, his basketball, like whatever, be competitive. And, the head coach said to her, oh, you're lucky you didn't do anything or I would have sent you back to where you came from. Certain language like that. So there's just plenty of stories that I could tell you. Two of my teammates got kicked off the team for being gay. Title IX issue, one of my teammates, he told another one of the teammates in order to separate them from hanging out. He told one of the other girls, you probably shouldn't hang out with her because she was sexually abused. And so she's not there mentally and that's not a good friend, which was a lie. But number one, even if for whatever reason,
sexually abused, why are you telling people that?
Right.
That's one. That's
number one. And number two, who separates their team like that? Let me tell you, let me
very divisive.
My very first day on campus, I should say my very first team meeting. It was everyone's, it was our first official team meeting, but like my first team meeting because I transferred into Liberty. He took myself, and the 3 freshmen who were also black girls, brought us into a meeting after our team meeting. He was like, can you guys stay? And he had a list of girls in the team who I didn't necessarily know who they were all the way yet. Because again, I'm new. I just transferred. I'm still getting to know the team or whatever. And he's like, you should not hang out with these girls because, they're a cancer to the team. I don't want you hanging out with it. Already separated. Mind you, my very first day, I'm like, I got the meeting. I was like, yo, mom, like the coach was telling me and the other, co-freshmen, like we shouldn't be hanging out with these girls. And like, then I figured out who those girls were. It was all the black girls on the team. And it just did what? Like
in the sanctuary.
So so we got
Did you feel this energy on the campus as well, or mostly just in the by administration?
No, when it came to like to that, no. I mean, this is just, and I'm just talking about the women's basketball program specifically.
Right. Okay.
I can't speak on all the other stuff. Women's basketball program specifically is where I felt that. I mean, on the campus, you didn't walk around and feel like people.
Okay,
It wasn't Trump territory at that time. So
at the time,
at the time,
I know what it is now.
Right, what it is now, I can't speak to that. But no, on the campus, no. I mean, you were around a lot of sheltered people, but no.
The whole point of all of this is after you left, and now this even, just the more and more you talk, this speaks more and more to my point here. Because you actually love the game of basketball still, and it was never ruined for you. When you left and stopped playing organized basketball.
Okay, yeah.
Did you, to any degree, at any point in time, have to deal with a sense of loss or existential searching,
like you lost itself almost?
Yeah, like you lost your
that is a good question. After I was
like, who am I if I don't do this thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. After I left, I did not, just because when I left, I was already I was pursuing like going overseas. Like I had a lot of things like it was like things were moving. But
slight flex. It's just real slight. Like, don't worry about it. Go on.
I do remember like after my senior season, like probably like a month before graduation. I remember this one moment. I was like, what am I about to do? Like, am I about to get a job? Am I about to go? Like, I just remember being like, what? Now what? So like,
was it a panic or?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in a sense, because I was just like, wait, hold up. Wait, no, I'm really about to graduate. Like, wait, I don't even know how to make a resume. Like, I got a whole master's degree. I'm like, what I'm about to do? Like, I remember that night specifically. I remember like journaling on my laptop, like just like putting out my thoughts. But like, yeah, I think in that that's one particular moment. But thankfully after that, it was straight. Like,
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like in that moment, yeah. I was like,
okay.
Who am I? Am I going to play? Am I like what? How to make money? How am I going to get a job? Am I a normal person now? Like, what do I do? Like,
yeah, just a civilian now.
Yeah, like what? This is my whole life.
What do you normal people do?
Right, like what? Huh? Yeah.
Okay, but it didn't linger though. So
thankfully, it didn't linger.
Okay, yeah. That's good. I just had to think about that. Syl, I'm panning back over to you for a second.
Okay.
Psych, Mikhail. Last time you were embarrassed. See, I told you I was just gonna get you when you're not expecting it. Last time you were embarrassed.
Embarrassed?
Yes, shame. Shame and guilt.
Does that all tie into embarrassment?
Bashfulness. I don't know. Goodness. I'm just throwing words out. Maybe it could.
That's a lot.
I can't think of a particular. I mean, like
Well, that's good.
I'm kind of like. I get nervous, but my last embarrassing, like you just think back like secondhand embarrassment, like, oh, what did I say?
Last thing you did that, or you know what? New question. Okay. Something that you're into in life.
Okay.
That you feel like people would judge you for.
I feel like everything I do is normal. So like, no, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I can't think of it. That's actually a harder question.
Yeah.
I'd say, because I feel like the things that I'm interested in, I usually talk to my friends about.
When you get it off your chest? Oh.
No, we all are interested in a sense. Like, I feel like, Silk, can you answer that question for me? Is there anything that you feel like I'm interested in? You're like, nah, Kels, you all. Or like, that's different.
I can't say like your obsession for J. Cole. Like, I feel like there's a lot of super fans.
Okay.
She's a super fan.
I didn't. Like, I knew you were a fan and a very involved fan.
I don't want to say. I guess obsession has a negative connotation, but like,
how many concerts you been to?
I've been to plenty.
Yeah.
Like, you can count on two hands or one hand?
She's been to the majority of his concerts.
Two hands.
Oh, I count on two.
Okay. And how many times did you go backstage?
Well, every time that I met him wasn't necessarily back.
She's just meeting this nigga at Chick-fil-A and they
No, what I mean is like, so I guess my idea of backstage is like right after the concert, you just go in the back. I'm not just thinking like times we've like met. So a couple times, like.
You hear the way she's saying it, like for you, because you probably already understand, but the way that she's just saying it to anyone that doesn't know her, I mean, you talking about just times we met, or the times I was at his concert,
or like the time,
because just the fact that you even have to break those two apart.
Right.
But I think the reasons why I'm like chill about it is because like. Just because he's a normal,
because he's chill about it.
Because he's chill about it.
Yeah.
Like it'd be different if it was like Chris Brown, like, oh my god, like you going crazy about like certain artists. You're like, oh my gosh, but like now,
I don't think I go crazy for any artist for real though.
But now I'm like,
why is that? You don't feel like connected to any of these artists, really? When Mo was on here, he said that if he met Drake, like he knows exactly what he's getting from. Like he feels like he truly knows Drake. Right, he knows his energy. He knows. He was like nothing's going to change if I see him.
That's not surprising.
And I was like, that's very interesting that you feel like you know him to that level.
Right.
I don't know. I think when I was younger, first of all, I love like reality shows, TV, stuff like that. So I've always been like watching celebrity content, celebrity stuff, like my whole life ever since I was little. But I've never really had like a super fan for like celebs for real. Like maybe when I was like a teen, but I feel like once I got older. Like,
who is your teen crush?
Oh well, crush is different.
But who is it? Teen
no.
Crush.
When I say like crush, it's like B2K. Like I love J Boog.
Okay.
But then also too is like when I was younger, I knew what type of career I wanted to have. So like I looked up to Lala Anthony because it's like I love everything that she does. I love like everything about her. Like I love her career.
Did you like her in Power?
Like that. I thought. Okay, so the thing is, I feel like I'm very maybe an impartial judge. I think she did a good job in that role. Mm-hmm. So, yes.
Okay.
I think she did. I think for her to be just getting started like in her acting career and getting more roles, I think she did good in that job.
Okay.
Like it got better over time, but I think she did decent.
Okay, and that's fine, Makara. You don't have to answer any of the 3 questions that I asked you. It's completely fine.
Yeah.
Syl! I looked on your Instagram page.
Did you?
I did.
What'd you see?
I saw that you are a self-proclaimed digital.
Not self-proclaimed.
Well, when we gonna get into this? Because I need some.
Give her flowers.
Whoa!
Go on, Syl.
Period.
I saw that you are indeed a digital creator.
I am.
Why? How? What are you doing? Where are we headed?
Okay, so you kind of asked me several questions.
I did, but you can do whatever you want with any of that.
So I'll say that like I kind of turned my page and I said I was a digital creator because one, I like to create content on my page. So like it could be like all different types of content. Like before, like I had a YouTube channel, like I was like doing different tutorials, different stuff on there, and then.
Which I liked a whole lot, and I told you the one where you were doing the makeup and you just had your guy friends commenting on it as it went was hilarious.
I loved that.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a good one. I almost feel like I should only make videos like that. Like,
oh man, you don't want to do that.
Like I love that. I feel like it's like the most interactive thing with, but like ultimately, like I want to be in entertainment, news, and media. So like that's just my lane. So in terms of digital creating, I feel like I'm always falling into that realm one way or another, whether it's in my personal time or whether it's like my job as well. It's like I used to be a digital producer at a local news station.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, I used to be a digital producer at a local news station in Hagerstown, Maryland.
And what did your job exactly, because for all of us dumb people that have no idea what that means, what did you do? What was your job title? I mean, well, we got the title, but what were the responsibilities?
Okay, so the responsibilities were posting to social media. So whether that be Twitter and Facebook, also sending out like push alerts. Like, you know how sometimes you may subscribe to like a specific news station, different updates and news updates. So I was the person sending out those push alerts, like writing articles for the website, like changing the layout of the website, writing news stories.
I need someone like
starting live streams like for on Facebook or on the website. Also training new employees that came in.
See, I'm trash at everything that you just said.
Really?
I'm pretty certain I'm trash at everything you just said, and that's why I said I need.
Never got that MySpace training with the HTML and the sparkles to open.
Yeah.
You'd be like H_B_bold.
Niggas be applying for job skills. MySpace
experience. MySpace.
No Excel spreadsheet. Just MySpace.
And in parentheses HTML.
HTML.
But we was doing it though. Actually putting we was doing it with the music and
it really was. Like that's literally what it looks like, you know. So.
Yeah, some people's pages were really popping when you open those things.
Yeah, it was. People was putting time in that.
I'm glad that you're showing your age. We're all showing our age with MySpace. with the MySpace, I really enjoyed that because I did want to talk about me feeling as though I'm getting old, especially around people like you guys that are always just talking about the things that are happening in the world.
I'm pretty sure we were born the same year.
Get the fuck out of here. We're the same.
What year were you born?
No.
What is he?
He's 2 years older than you.
I'm 30 years old.
Sorry.
Okay. Is this still, by the way, whoa, why you look?
She said,
why you look? Okay, so then that might even answer my question.
What?
Is it still, unfashionable to ask a woman her age? Is that a thing still?
I don't think that becomes a thing until you're 35.
I mean,
that's
wait, but how is the person supposed to, because
ask me how old I am, because I want to know how old you are as well.
But you said it's not a thing until you turn 35. It's not disrespectful until
then. That's what I feel like.
But how do I know if I can't do it? You could look really good. I'm terrible at that game of guessing ages.
Tell them what you're going to start doing to people.
What? I'm going to start carding people?
Yeah.
Somebody asked for my number. I'm going to have to ask them, can I see ID? Because I need to know how old you are.
She really said that.
Okay. Yeah, that's real. I need to know how old.
Okay.
I think it's
all right. So we're gonna take this route. Forget about me being old for a second and how I'm figuring that out. Why? What's happening to you? Are there too many? Yeah, because there's either too many young people trying you and you don't want to dig into that bag, or what is going on?
So, I'll start off by saying one. I don't know. I think a lot of people think I am younger than what I am. So, I've been normally, the whole, is it rude to ask a woman her age?
Yes.
Normally, if somebody asks me how old I am, I'm like, guess, how old do you think I am?
Yeah, I like that. I like the game.
And sometimes it never gets disrespectful, honestly. Most of the time, it's always 24, 23.
What is disrespectful?
I guess somebody was 32. I'm like, wait a minute now. You're not going to add time on.
Wait, no, you can't. But you
be anything older than what you are.
Yeah, anything older than I am is disrespectful. Because it's you're not going to say because no.
If they guess your actual age, do you get offended as well? Hold on.
No one's actually ever guessed my age, but if you did guess my age, I wouldn't be offended at all. It's just okay, cool.
How you know that?
Yeah, but most of the time, there has never been anybody that actually guessed my age.
Before this entire conversation, I thought 27.
Okay. Not my age, but no one ever. But also, you also know me, and the people that I hang out with.
Well, I think we've gotten to the bottom of me not knowing you.
You semi know me though, and you kind of know the age group of people that I'm around. Yeah. So you have a better understanding, right? Mm-hmm. But I'll meet people and they'll think I'm 24, right? And then I'll ask them how old are you? I'm 23. I'm see.
Okay, so that's your cutoff.
23. Is my cutoff?
Well, yeah.
I think 24 is a cutoff, and I also think that's reaching. I think that's a reach for 24.
Oh, well, you know what though? It may be different for you all being heterosexual women. I don't even know if you're just heterosexual or not, to be honest. But we don't even have to get into it. But the thing is, that might be the difference if you're looking for a man.
Yeah.
Because boys are stupid. Little boys are stupid. Why would you want to be with a 21, 22? Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's true. That
doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I do feel women have different age
limitations.
Than a man does.
1,000%.
Men will date a freaking donkey with plastic arms.
Okay, we were talking about age. We talked about
totally different. Listeners, listen.
Plastic arms, and men will just be whoa, bro. Men cooked me my favorite meal,
I feel like men just care. Are you?
That's
legal?
Your standards.
You know, it's are you legal? It's okay. I don't think a dude cares if you can't drink.
Ask, probably.
You know what I mean? If you can't drink, there's nothing that we need to be talking about.
Okay,
Not
agree with that.
Not because of alcohol, but just because, like, at 21, you're in a different, like, after 21, there's different accolades and things that are happening in life for you. You know what I mean?
Accolades.
Like, you know what I mean? I feel like if somebody is, there's, like, another thing, too. Sometimes I don't always say, like, age. It could be, like, where are you in life currently? You know what I mean? It's like, if you happen to be 24 or 25 and you're still in undergrad, it's like, I probably don't need to be talking to you. Because it's like, you're still in, like, that non-realistic, like, bubble to some degree of life.
See,
but not everyone is like that. But that's just kind of been my experience, because the people who will talk to me, they may live on campus. It's not that, like, I just go to school and, like, I have a job, I'm working, so, like, I know what, you know, because, like, when you're in college, like, you're really just out here doing what you want to do. Like, the responsibilities really ain't hitting the same as, like, once you have graduated.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. So it's like, what I'm going to do with somebody who's like, that's the world that you're in. And you know what I mean? That's not the world I'm in.
No, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
But it's very funny, because you're right. These are flip-flopped, because yeah, a lot of guys are not thinking as hard as you all are about who. Yeah.
He was on the flip side, be like, "Oh, what you doing today? I'm finna go to math." Oh, I remember when I was in. Is it geometry? What you went?
Wait, so you didn't see that flag?
Girl, well, I remember.
Yeah.
Still.
I'm not about to have those conversations with you. Right?
Yo,
oh man, y'all still have activity hour? Man, we used to tear it up.
Right. It's like, hold on, so what's not clicking? We shouldn't be discussing.
Okay, and you have about the same age restrictions as her?
Like, what do you?
I mean, about 24. Like, you can't be an undergrad.
Oh
right?
Yeah, I mean, no, bump that. I mean, you got no.
Or do you all often? You have to give a bunch of. Listen, I say a lot on here. You guys don't have to get into specifics, but. Do you all often come into contact with men that you just feel like you can't really have the types of conversations that you want to? And if so, why can't you have those conversations? Like, what is lacking? Oh, damn. Is the list too long? Damn, she just laughed at me.
Besides competency, I mean, what do we mean by that?
Look, now she throwing the word competency around. I mean, like her old coaches were.
No, I'm saying, like, you said why. I mean.
Wait, okay. Let me get the question.
Yo, she crying, laughing.
Triggered her.
Simply.
You said.
That is
have
too
you come
funny.
Across a man or a guy that you're talking to that you feel like you can't have certain conversations?
This is so funny, because she's laughing at me with the type of fervor that is
fervor. I would like to point out fervor word of the day. Fervor. I had to throw the definition here.
Strength, potency.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so her laugh is an indicator, a clear indicator that clearly it is more so, the over-under is, it's more so that they are men that are coming across that you can't have the level of conversation that you feel like you ought to be having. That's why you laughing at me.
Let me say this baseline, okay? Amongst me and my friends, we have, like, very thorough, educational, like, great conversations. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we're a very intellectual group. Like, we're talking out different points and, like, have real opinions, and we have thorough conversations, you know? Not like the fake, deep, like, combos where it's like, after talking, you like, what did you even say? You know what I mean? And that happens a lot. And there are a lot of people who are in that realm, and they repost it, and they be thinking, like, 100.
I said something.
100. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like that's like a red flag. You be seeing on people's social media, they reposted, like, a fake, deep interview, and be like, 100. And I'm like, what did they say?
What did you get out of this?
What was the takeaway?
What touched you?
When, where, why? What was talked about in this? You know what I mean? So, like, it's a very, I guess, I don't know if that's average for most friend groups. And as women, I don't know if that's average for most, like, women, friend groups. You know
so what I'm hearing from you is that you are a upper echelon type woman.
Hold on. He just called you bougie.
Well, no, because you're saying, listen, not only can I not even have these conversations with guys that I meet, but I don't even know if other women are doing what me and my women are doing.
So the reason I'm saying this too is that I have a lot of guy friends. Okay, so I have a younger brother, but his friends are my friends, and just me on I just have a lot of guy friends. You know what I mean? So, like, I talk to men often, like platonically all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes like I'll hear things from certain guys. It's like, yo, it's girls that's not doing that. You know what I mean? Girls ain't thinking like they're not saying that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like that's where this insight is coming. It's not just me waking up and being like, me and my girls, we be talking.
It's a different.
Y'all not talking like us. You know what I mean? But you know, and like hearing stories from other women as well, and in their friend groups and their relationships and their friendships. You know what I mean? So because of that, there have not been many guys that I have come in contact with that are maybe interested in me, like romantically, that I can have those same type of quality conversations with.
Are there moments that like pop up where you can see you said something and then like the light just like flickered off in his mind? Like he was like, okay, she doing way too, I don't know what she talking about.
Right.
I was just trying to ask her about her old geometry class.
That sometimes can happen. But I think also
all I said was WYD.
I said with WYD, but also too, like there's sometimes where you try to like steer the conversation somewhere, and you can tell it's not going there.
Damn.
And like I feel like if you just are a conscious person, you can kind of get the vibe from certain people where it's like we ain't really finna go that deep in I could be wrong though. I could be judging these people wrongfully.
Yes,
and they could have.
But this is what your instincts tell you.
I'm not wrong.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So
damn. So these niggas stupid, Mikhail. Just tell me.
I didn't say that.
But what are you saying?
I didn't say that either.
I didn't say that.
Well, now I'm asking you, what would you like to say?
I don't think that niggas is stupid. I just think that I think it's more difficult to find a man who is on the same level intellectually than it is for maybe a man to find a woman who's on the same intellectual level as him. Or
I can stoop to that level. That was a shot.
And maybe I don't know. I don't want to say all men necessarily, but
it's never
people,
all men. If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it.
Yeah,
it's not everybody.
I don't mean to make a generalized statement, but I just feel
look at you all being conscious and intentional on the podcast. Aw.
We try.
That's so nice.
So we are.
See, that's why I brought you guys here. Oh my God. Okay, me being old.
Okay, you being old. Let's stand on it.
This is 1,000%. I listen. I'm old. I'm washed. I'm with that. So here we go. Okay. If you have an old computer, if I get you a Windows 98, you're going to say,
okay.
Why the fuck did you get me this computer? That's old. It's obsolete.
The first question I'm gonna say is, where'd you get this?
Where'd you even get it?
And then I'd probably say, Earl would have this.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be the follow up. I feel like that would be exact. Like if you were to pull up on us, I feel like that'd be the exact thing that would happen. I'd be like, where did you get this? Mikhail would be like, Earl, why do you even have this? Like that would be it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna bypass me getting fried just now.
Bypass the shade. Yeah. Go back to the
show. Might be like, the Salvation Army had a sale.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I say that because I believe that the focal point of our lives today is technology.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's not something to really be refuted.
No.
Okay. So with that being the focal point, if there are, maybe you all are getting new iPhones and stuff like that, and you're realizing that the old jacks and stuff like that don't go into the phone. So now you need to go buy new adapters and new, because Apple's just like, you gonna buy it.
Right.
Because what you gonna do, not have the new phone?
Right.
It's so disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful. But it's like, what
you gonna do? Yeah.
So you gonna buy it.
I'm gonna have to buy it.
And if you don't, those other things are now obsolete. They are old.
And people gonna make fun of you if you don't have them.
Yeah, we can get into the tiers, like people looking at people crazy,
That's
right?
Real. When iPhones was first coming out, I used to have a BlackBerry, right? So my text messages was green. You know what I mean? I had the green bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's still a thing.
It is a thing. That's what I'm saying though. Like if you aren't keeping up with like what's the hot technology, and you happen to be in that green bubble gang, like you go get like people go say stuff about you. They were just talking about red flags on Twitter the other day. Somebody said it was a green bubble. Like, it's a red flag. Which is crazy because it's like you shouldn't judge nobody based off of the type of phone that they have.
But I honestly, why? I don't like green bubbles. Why is that thing?
Also,
see, they got her.
No, but I don't mean about men. I don't care about my.
Let me say something though.
Yeah.
I want to know when my message got there.
Yes. But also, the green message.
Did it go through?
The green messages from the men.
It's nasty. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, like, how it's like, don't judge the green bubbles. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be judging you based off of your phone, you know?
Right.
And I'll be like, let me not judge you. And then afterwards, I'll be like, well, I should have judged your ass because look at this.
So you're saying,
was-
so you're saying the characteristics do add up. So you can't say people are gonna make fun of you, but then if the shoe fits, then
y'all bugging. You're not telling me that there aren't dudes with the newest iPhone that would do the same thing as the dude with the green bubble.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I never like compared the graphs, you know?
Yeah, you gotta do that. I just
don't like the green because I want to know, like, did my message go through?
Yeah.
Do you also use like fun, cool stuff that only iPhones can do and interact?
Like
can Androids like see like GIFs and stuff like from your keyboard?
Yeah, remember their emojis would be all
raggedy. Their emojis are different. There was
don't send me that.
There was actually an argument that broke out between I watch reality TV, but on Married to Medicine, these two friends got in a fight with each other because somebody commented on their picture like a wink emoji, like girl, you doing your thing, but on the Android it shows up like you know, a
like
different
face.
A shady face. So she was like, she came for her crazy. She's like, don't be talking about me. I thought we was friends. They fighting and stuff. And she's like, no, because on my phone, that's what it looks. And on my phone, it's like, look at that.
At what point do you feel like we're going to have text message courses in communications courses? Like there's public speaking, there's interpersonal, there's business. It's already a thing?
Well, that's like mentioned within interpersonal communication.
Okay. Yeah, I think it ought to be. No, I think it ought to be.
If you didn't know, I was a graduate lecturer at Mason, so, you know.
I didn't know.
So I was teaching a couple of classes, you know. But yes, that is actually featured in interpersonal communication.
So you feel like you have a firm grasp on all the emojis and exactly how to, like the equation of emojis, like how to put things together to get the point across that you want?
I think I do, but I also acknowledge everybody has a different perception. So it's like, I could feel like I'm saying something and it's like, that's what it is. And it's like, no, I can't. Like at work when I'll be slacking and like, I want to like use a different emoji besides the thumbs up, but I'm like, I'm not trying to have nothing misunderstood like in this place of business. Right. So every emoji for me is just.
Right. Like even like my girls,
throwing the thumbs
my high school girls, like they'll be texting stuff. I'm like, what is this? Like, one of my players always texts SN and then like a bunch of like laughing faces or something. And she always SN. And it's like last night I practiced, I was like, what is SN? Why you always be saying SN? She's like, it's psych null, coach. You old. I said, just say psych null. What do you like? Yeah. I know what psych null is, but nobody abbreviates psych null.
That's a new thing though, because like the abbreviations currently are out of pocket.
I'm like, what do you use?
I guess a lot of abbreviations that really are not needed for real. Like and the only reason I be up on this is because of Twitter. That's why I be up on it.
Teach us. Give me something because I don't know any of these.
Okay, so like if you see something, it'll be like YT. They get on my nerves. I can't stand them.
Oh, the whites. No, that's normal.
No, hold on. Wait. Look at Earl's face.
Wait. YT.
Instead of writing white people.
The whites. That's normal. Though.
It's just YT. That's kind of new.
That is supposed to be interpreted as whitey.
White.
No, white. Like the white,
like
white people.
Oh, I didn't. Is it white?
Like instead of writing white.
I didn't know if you were supposed to like sort of like say them aloud and it say whitey.
Nah.
I was like, damn. That's a bit strong. Like, God.
Me and my teammates used to text like, man, like, y'all see the whites or like the whites?
Yeah, but I just feel like that's like I can't even think of some. I was just talking to my brother about some of them, and I can't even like think about what the jump is. But there's so many like abbreviations or like acronyms. I'm just like, I don't know like why this had to be abbreviated this way. Like I feel like it was already short, but it's like, okay, here, let's roll with it then.
Yeah.
Are those also red flags? If a guy starts texting you and hits you with like a little too many abbreviations,
I don't think that's a red flag because I feel like if you do, it's kind of feeding its toxic masculinity and the idea of what you think a cis man's supposed to look like and what masculinity looks like. So.
Wait, why does that have to be a masculinity thing? Why couldn't that? Like, why does someone shortening something have to play into their masculinity versus just their?
So like, my interpretation of what Earl was saying is kind of like if somebody's like if a dude is texting you, they're kind of like that's not giving what it's supposed to give, or like.
Well, he said red flag. He didn't say. I don't know. What's another word for non-masculine? I don't know.
Like what would the red flag be hinting towards though? My interpretation of that in that specific context.
I thought it was interesting that you thought it had to do with masculinity. I took that. I would have interpreted that as like red flag, like, oh, you a nigga, like you. Like
I feel like if you really a nigga, like you're not saying that type of stuff. You in the mix, maybe.
Were you
really in the mix?
See, that's what I'm saying because that was a question that was referring to you talking about being an upper echelon woman with your intellect.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't necessarily a masculinity thing. It was an intellect.
That's what I meant by that.
Yeah. So the reason I jumped to that though is because there's so many times that a dude says something and be like, nah, they go think I'm playing for the other team if I, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that always goes to it. Like when you say certain like things that have been coined by women, like period, like it's not giving what was supposed to give.
Okay, well,
you knew the assignment.
Period.
Like,
if a man was like,
you know what I mean?
Period, I'd be like,
okay. You know
because
what I mean?
what are we talking
So
about? Unless he was mocking me, like to be funny, then I'm like, ha ha ha, like just.
Yeah.
But like if you just like,
when you're saying
See, that's the
if you was like, Mikkel, you look good in the mall. Period.
See, I was about to say because
I'd be like, Sylvia,
and that's why text messaging has to be put into interpersonal communications because to be a funny, witty person, maybe sarcastic person through text message, like you're trying to get to know someone, and that's your swag. Yeah, that can be hard to get off.
But I think that you just touched on something. I think that's the problem. Like we shouldn't be trying to get to know each other through text. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be like low key, like you kind of establish who this person is, you have understanding of them, and then that can translate through text. I feel like the wires be getting crossed because normally you first start talking to somebody, you texting them, and now they don't really know you for real. Facts. You don't really know them for real. You could be interpreting things completely wrong, and then eventually, like you meet up with each other, and it's like, oh, okay, my interpretation was right. I'm glad I was on the right track. And sometimes it's like, even
really like certain slang that I say to y'all, like I feel like if I were to say that to somebody new in a text, he'd be like, "Oh, shorty is weird," but really, I'm like, "No, actually, I'm normal." And I may not even, I'm just joking.
I may not even say the same things in text with people that I'm just getting to know that I will like amongst people who already know me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
you're more conscious of it.
Yeah, you're trying to taper it and cater to the person.
It's like you may not know where I'm coming from. Like it could be totally misinterpreted the wrong way.
Okay, that's really good. Because I was gonna say to you, in this day of like, what do you call it? The dating apps. Yeah, exactly. That world. How often do you feel like people are meeting and getting to know each other and that being the basis before all the text messaging and all that? Because I feel like when you meet people, my experience for the most part has been there's quite a bit of conversation, like texting and things like that before meetups. People need to be safe and make sure that like they get the vibe through a while that you're not going to like chop them up in the woods somewhere.
You can't really pick that up through text though.
You can't. You really can't.
Yeah, it could be the killer.
So how do you do it? You just do okay, well listen, okay. Well, the way that I did it, I would always like to try to get to like FaceTime as quickly as possible.
That's good.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to have conversation, good. Like us look at each other.
Right. Plus, like,
I'm not gonna force you to just meet up with me.
Oh yeah.
But here's another thing too. I don't be FaceTiming with everybody like that. You know what I mean? I feel like I only really FaceTime. Like there's like almost like a comfort level.
I'm a big FaceTimer. Like
dating is hard.
But I'm talking about like dating wise and strangers. Those like like amongst my close core and people like, yeah, I'm not gonna call you, I'm gonna FaceTime you. Like that's what it is. You know
Even if I'm just like I'm outside the house, I'm FaceTiming you.
But like imagine like sometimes somebody will get my number on Sunday and like on Wednesday they're FaceTiming me. And I like that. I literally be like, why is this man FaceTiming me he didn't tell me or nothing? Like,
so you like that?
Would appreciate a warning.
I would appreciate
but if someone did that to me, I would kind of like that because I'm like, I wouldn't like to be popped up on, but like.
Because I feel like when it's, I believe it's
you don't want them to just pull up unsolicited.
Pull up. That's like knocking on my door and I didn't know you was coming.
It is because it's FaceTime.
Stop it.
Because it's
FaceTime.
Don't do that. It's not that.
It pulled up and I'm like,
it's giving the same amount of interpersonal. You know what I mean? If it was a phone call, it's different. If it's a FaceTime, because you know what? If you're on FaceTime and you have the video off the whole time, that's the issue. Like people could be like, why is your video not on? Yeah. It's like, because you didn't tell me you were calling me ahead of time. I'm not in a place to have my video on.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's the same thing.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I agree. Don't just pull up on me without me knowing. But I do like the idea of somebody
just FaceTime.
Just pull just FaceTime you 3 days later. Like, okay, let's just get straight to the point.
I'm cool with that, but I feel like it needs to be like some type of like
hey, what you doing? Let me FaceTime you tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like
that. That's
that.
cool. That's a good way to break through like the BS of like texting or whatever.
Right.
And get right to like, I can see how you respond to things. You see facial expressions, stuff like that. But I feel like most of the time, or in my experience, too often, people just hit you up with no warning, no nothing. And I'm just like, for me, because of like my boundaries, like that's kind of like you are kind of getting into like my personal space without even like giving me acknowledgement that you would like to enter it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I can understand.
I would probably just ignore the call.
I would too.
And I would just be like, let me hit you tonight or something. Yeah, I would just ignore. Like, I just wouldn't answer it, and I would just text back, like, let me FaceTime you later.
Yeah.
But is that FaceTime going to take place, or is that just a buffer just so you can get out?
No, I would really FaceTime back because I mean, I got too much to do. I'm not 12. I don't want to sit here and text you all day long. Seriously, like, I don't want to be with somebody who wants to text me all day long. Like, we need to have
about what?
Right, no. We need to have something to talk about when I come home. Right. Like, I don't want to say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Look, I'm not 13. Like, I got a career.
Like I'm on the clock.
I got things to do. Oh right. Like, we don't need to be breathing.
What are you doing right now at 12:30? I'm probably
right. I don't have the time to text all day. I don't even like text. That's why, like Sil was saying, like my friend group, I'm gonna just FaceTime you. Like, we're a big FaceTime group with anybody. Like,
yeah, we are.
Anyone, even my family, like a little FaceTime.
Same.
Even like Duty, like I'll just like want to ask him something quick about flag football. I'm not texting you. I'll FaceTime.
Literally, it was Saturday
tell me about
night.
This game tomorrow.
Friday night. We're literally in like heading to Arlington. What's Austin doing? FaceTiming.
Just yeah.
I'm not gonna call him. No, I want to see what's like FaceTiming.
Right.
Like, what's your vibe? Feel our vibe. Like, let's link.
But again, these are people. This is family.
People that facts.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But like, I don't want to sit there and text. We're not in middle school. I don't.
The more and more we talk, the more and more you guys being older is coming out too.
But it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that want to do texting though.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, just wanting to FaceTime. Yo, the next generation.
I want to talk all day long.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that.
But yeah, I would rather.
I'm just saying, especially when you first don't know somebody, I just feel like it's a better way to get to know somebody if you're not ready to like go out per se and meet.
Right, I need to know what your voice sounds like. You know?
Oh, you want these headphones for a second?
No, I mean like.
The you talking about the
the person that she made.
I was like, you need to know what her voice sounds like.
Like I'm thinking, like if you texting somebody brand new, it's like, oh, let's meet up for dinner. Okay, cool. But like, what if I get there and like, I don't know if you just sound mad weird. That's like you don't even know. I don't even know what you sound like.
Right. Well, did you hear the podcast where the chick came in here and was like, I'm so excited to watch the movie tonight. It's gonna be so much fun. And I was like, ew.
Who was that?
It was probably a couple years ago at this point now, but I understand what you were saying.
You
and
gotta be prepared.
You have a speech
because the things you just
that's all it was. It was just a speech impediment,
that you weren't prepared for.
I wasn't prepared for it. It caught me off guard. I wasn't really there for it.
Childish side of you,
to be honest with you, yes, exactly.
That's the problem with the world.
Well, I mean, I'm grown. What do people say? Like I'm a work in progress.
Yeah,
you know what people say, right? See, ooh, I got something.
Don't do that.
No, okay, that was old.
Not like that's grandma say that.
Dang, so she just really
okay.
I'm just saying he can't take credit for that.
I'm gonna go back to me being. That was a great segue to me going back to talking about being old because I didn't finish that.
Right.
I just wanted to get all that out the way.
Yeah.
World centered by technology.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Obsolete pieces of technology around us.
Mm-hmm.
If the pieces that are supposed to be connected to those pieces of technology no longer are adaptable, they no longer go into those things, then that thing is old or obsolete.
Right.
I am old and obsolete.
So why do you feel like you don't go into other things?
I just deleted they're gonna listen to this.
Deleted my name out your contact?
They're gonna listen to this. It's gonna be funny because by then I will have hit them up through like Instagram or something like that. But I deleted someone's phone number the other day trying to delete. I deleted like the whole text message thread.
Okay.
Trying to delete like a message within it. I was trying to send them a PDF file. It didn't go through for some reason or another. Okay. So then I was like, well, let me just go ahead and delete this and I'll try to send it another way.
You deleted everything. Now you don't know the number.
Exactly.
Because you don't know how to save contacts.
I delete threads all the time though.
But
on purpose.
But you have their phone number saved in your phone. Though. So you can go back.
I do not always have their number saved in my phone.
Okay, but is that like a man that you just don't want to talk to? He doesn't have mine. I've known this man since I was 11 years old.
You're talking about a very specific situation, but he's just I'm talking about his situation of that, the example that
these are two different things.
First of all, I've known you since you were 11, but when did I get your number? It hasn't been since then. Like, it's probably recent. It's probably in the last, like...
What is recent to you? When I was 15? When I was probably a freshman or something. What are you saying? There's nothing you can say right now let's also tell the people, Earl does not have any contacts saved in his phone. It's literally just phone numbers.
Just threw him under the bus.
I wanted to get into this.
Phone numbers, which is straight. Okay, this is like Sylvia saying.
Let's do it.
These people you don't really know, like you don't know if you're gonna have a long-term relationship. But that makes 100%. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But does it really though? Because that was kind of where it started for me. But now I'm judging my old self for that.
No, judge your current self.
Well, him too. I do it all the time.
Past and present.
And why won't you, if you're just meeting, like, is it a thing, like, you feel like they're taking up storage 100%. In your phone? Like, you don't have enough gigabytes to save another number?
I don't know. I can't speak to that.
You see what I'm saying?
So for me,
like, it's not a real reason. It's kind of just like, it's a curve that the person doesn't even know about.
For me, it's just that I don't see the point of saving somebody's number in my phone. I don't even know if I'm going to be talking to you next week. You know what I mean? Okay. But it could also be like, I may only talk to you here. There's just sometimes I just don't save your number because it may just be like, I don't see a long-term conversation happening. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or it could be in like a large group and it's like, I'm able to identify who you are based off of this group. But sometimes in that group, I'll be like, oh, okay.
That's the answer to your question, by the way. How do I know who people are?
But also,
but there's nothing you can say.
Sometimes within that group, I'll be like, oh, wait, there's probably a chance I'll probably speak to this person again and need to know who they are. So I'll save this. But like, that's how I function, though, because I'll forget to delete people's names and numbers out of my phone. You know what I mean? Like, I probably still have people's numbers and names in my phone that I don't even really talk to.
I have people from middle school on my phone. Yeah. I've had the same phone number since, like, the 5th grade.
Yeah, I've had the same phone number since I've had my phone as well. But, like, this is just, like, a newer, like, I won't say new, but, like, college. Like, I just delete text threads. Like, if you go look at my phone, I don't have my text threads. Like, I'll have, like, 5 conversations that are up there. And, like, if we don't talk, I'll delete that chat just so like it's almost like organization to me at this point. Like,
this now we're getting into it. Like that's what it is.
It started from some childish.
Is you just want stuff to kind of like be clean. You don't like clutter.
It started because of something childish, but then it became like I love this, I like this, I'm gonna maintain it.
Mm-hmm. I used to do that, and then I stopped.
But also, since I'm an avid Apple user, I also have an iPad and I have a laptop that I text on. So if I want to see the whole thread, or if somebody texts me from a number and they're just like, "Hey, what's up?" and I'll be like, "Let me go get my laptop out," and like open up my laptop and like look through and
context
be like, "Who
clues.
is this?" Like, and I can look back and be like, "Oh, okay, I know who this is."
Right.
I mean? Like, I have the receipts; they're just not on my phone
on the actual phone.
Give me some time to go in the file. I can bring it out.
Yes, that's a one.
I'm not searching files.
Let me go in the file and find.
I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what I do, but I'm just saying that's how it functions for me. Because like I just delete stuff off my phone.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just save it, and then if I never talk to you again, I never talk to you again.
Okay.
Will you remember to go back and delete it, or you'll just keep it saved?
I don't have there's no purpose. Why do I need to go back and delete it? I mean, it's not taking up storage on my phone.
Mikkel also has like an unlimited amount of storage on her phone.
I do. I have
infinite amount of storage.
Right. You know I mean? No, I have a couple terabytes.
Literally, Mikkel has an infinite amount. I have
like 15,000, 16,000 photos, videos on my phone. And she always has something to say about it.
So for me, there have been times like I have to delete apps off my phone because I'm like, I don't have enough storage for these pictures. You know what I mean? Like, and in that moment, I will delete apps off my phone that I'm not actively using. I think there's a new setting on Apple on the phone now that it does it for you. Yeah. Like if you don't actually like utilize certain apps, it deletes it for you.
Yeah. And if you don't utilize certain text message threads, it'll delete those too. I have that on, so I just
that's a feature.
Yeah, for sure. It'll just delete old people you're never talking to. It'll just delete those threads.
Wow, okay.
It'll clean house.
Look at that.
I'm going to save some people's numbers. I have 30 contacts right now.
Earl, what are
most of those people are in my family.
Okay. When did you get your phone to have 30 contacts?
So
there's no excuse.
Wait, it's not about when I got it.
I think it is.
I got this phone years ago. So here's another reason why I'm old. What phone do you have? A manicure?
Yeah. For sure. They look good. I've been looking at them.
Hey, thank you.
Well groomed.
Yeah.
I have the 11 Pro. But I'm about to get the 13 actually. I was going to order it before I came up, but I just didn't have time.
Mm-hmm. When's that going to be here?
I didn't order it yet, but I mean, I'm sure in a couple. I mean, sure, probably soon. I mean, I don't imagine. It's back ordered.
And you, Sue?
I have the 11 Pro Max.
11 Pro Max.
So I'm like 2 iPhones behind.
So we're gonna see if if you all, the listeners and I are going to see if you all move the goalpost here. We're going to see how this works.
Okay.
We cannot judge the green bubble people.
No.
Right? We agreed on that. We're not judging the green bubble people.
I don't judge them.
We don't judge them.
But if their behavior adds up to it, then I'm like, well, I should have judged you.
It's not a problem, just an inconvenience.
It's just an inconvenience.
I won't judge you.
But it's not. But you're not judging character.
No, I'm not judging.
Okay, that's fantastic. Got a couple of nice people here.
Yeah, because apparently the pictures on there.
Do you judge people as Apple users, avid Apple users, do you judge people that may be a little behind on their phone? They don't have the 11 Pro Plus, the 13, with the 5, 6, 7 different cameras.
No, I don't judge.
Because I have the iPhone SE.
Okay.
That's the point I'm getting to.
I don't even remember which one that is.
I don't.
Also, I'm not really a big technology person either, to be honest.
I don't remember how far back that is.
I believe it's after 6S and before 7, I believe.
I don't judge people in general because I just feel like different shows for different folks. You know what I mean? Like what works for you, that works for you. So who am I to be judging it? You know what I mean?
Unless you had the Razr flip phone or
I still wouldn't even judge you because I'm like, hey, I bet when you slam that phone afterwards,
it's different. It's a different feeling. It's definitely a different feeling.
It hit different. But so if a man comes to the bar to you and asks you for your number, you think he might take out that Razr
flip phone? He pulled a Motorola out.
What you doing? What's your face and what you thinking? You judging that man in your head.
Immediately, I'm thinking that you either sell drugs. You're doing something illegal.
It's a burner phone.
So you are.
Yes, I'm thinking it's a burner phone.
And
I don't think that's it's being prejudiced. I don't think it's judging per se. Wouldn't
that be?
What's funny is I think that we may need to, and you know what? I love doing this here. No, not necessarily what that is, but I talked about this before on the other podcast. Is people too haphazardly jump into conversations, not really knowing what they're talking about because they haven't gotten the structure of the word in and of itself.
Right.
So here's the thing. I think people give judging a bad rap.
A bad connotation.
Yeah, it does not have to be negative.
It really isn't. We're judging on that's the only way you can live.
Right.
You have to make constant judgments throughout your life.
Based off the information that you have at the time.
Yeah,
and those go into people as well.
Probably falls under judgment.
Right.
Yeah.
Prejudice is a type of judgment.
But also at the same time, I feel like, to
form a judgment or opinion of, decide upon critically. Prejudice. To decide or settle authoritatively. To infer, think, or hold as an opinion. To make a careful guess about, estimate.
Oh. So I have a hypothesis is passing judgment. Okay.
Then making a guess.
You're just making a judgment on it.
So maybe I should redact that statement and say that I do judge, but it's never.
If you just stay right there for me, why is it that when she uses nice words, you don't make fun of her? You only make fun of me.
She said redact.
Oh, see. I said fervor.
No, what is that?
No one said fervor, and you know that. You gotta stop.
What is fervor? What is indubitably?
You gotta know that's not where.
What are these words that you use?
Redact is something that you hear in normal life more
everyday
often
life.
Than fervor. I've never heard anybody say that before. You know what I immediately thought of? I thought
use fervor in a sentence. Can we get the definition of fervor?
Well, I did. Yeah, sure. I'll give you the definition of fervor.
Yeah, but before you look
what about fervent?
Come on, T.I.
What about fervent?
The only thing I can think about is
a furry object.
Okay, you know what? No, what is it called when the wine fermenting? That's what I think of.
Shit, alcoholic.
Fervor, great warmth and earnestness of feeling, intense heat.
What's an adjective for that?
Fervent.
Intense. Can you use that word?
Yeah.
But you know something? You said that you had that old phone. So I feel like there's certain lines. So if you had that flip phone, I'm probably like, oh, what's going on? But an old iPhone, in my head, I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like if you have an old phone if you have an old version of a phone, I feel like you're more honest.
Really?
Wow.
Like if you have
my fucking mind is blown. Where is this take coming from?
Yeah.
If you have the new phone every time in my head, I'm like, why you keep getting the new phone? Like that's why you try.
So people can't have nice things.
I just feel like it's like I don't know. I'm like even me like. I don't get the new phone every single year.
If I see somebody with a phone like that, just because I think one of my iPhones is like that and that phone stays in my drawer, like I actually have to connect it. One, I'd probably be shocked. So I'd be like, how is your junk still doing this thing? You know what I mean? Because mine has to be on the freaking charger. I got it at the crib and I keep sometimes I look at the messages and be laughing. But also, too, I would just feel like, okay, you're kind of off the grid. That would kind of be my takeaway.
Oh, okay.
If you have an older iPhone, I'd just probably be
you clearly just don't care about being.
That's what I mean. You off the grid. I just feel like you're probably just more honest. I just feel like you're more you less materialistic. I just think if you always have the new phone in my head, I'm like, that person's probably very materialistic. And weirdly, I don't feel that way about women. I don't know why. I feel that way about men. If a man has the newest phone all the time, in my head, I'm like, you're probably materialistic. But if he has an older phone, like you were like, oh, I have the iPhone 6. I'm like,
see, yeah.
Okay, well, let me get why?
See, that would spark conversations for me based off of like, okay, so you're off the grid.
Yeah,
why?
Right, you off the grid? Like, I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like we could have a deep
living in a trailer. Like, are you trying to get away from society?
Oh,
like,
okay.
why are you off the? You know what I mean?
That type of
because not trailer like bad way. Because like I've seen a lot of like young people who live in trailers or whatever. Because like they kind of want to be like removed in a different type of like environment and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like I'm kind of thinking in my head like, okay, so like why are you off the grid? You know what I mean? Like, what is it?
I would also assume if you had an old phone, you probably be one of those people who have like 2 photos on Instagram. Like you just
like you don't. If
you know what I mean?
Phone,
like
you
social media and like materialistic things are probably not the forefront of you. And like I would associate that with more honesty because you're not.
And that's why I said I need you, because my like social media game is just I don't like doing every one of these posts.
So that makes sense then.
Yeah.
You have an older phone and you like, I'm not gonna
in this situation, yes, that pans out.
Yeah. Also, like, do you want to even have social media? Like, why do you?
And so this is what I was just about to ask, because clearly you guys just asked some hypothetical person why they're off the grid. Yeah. But like I'm right here. So now I would like to ask, yeah, exactly. Like, have you guys ever? Do you feel like you have an idea of why I'm not, or would you like to know?
Yeah, tell us.
I mean, because you just said
have a good understanding
only because you just said that you would like to know, and I'm here. So would you like to know?
I guess we've never really had that conversation of why you feel
this is what I'm talking about.
He doesn't know us.
Yeah. You have the vibe of off the grid and always get that. And I feel like we always speak on it.
Is it because last time you saw me, I had a bandana on, some small shorts, and some boots with tall socks on, and
a walking stick?
And I knew exactly.
You like to play banjo.
and I knew exactly how to start the trail for the hike. Did I not get us to the trail?
You got us there,
but did you not have to run to go see if it was the right way? I have the.
We have video evidence.
Yes, I did. I posted it too. It's on my page.
I'm just run up here this mile real quick, and then we'll decide what we'll decide.
Do. So, like, you didn't wholeheartedly know. You had a thought. I said, "Oh."
How about just how courteous it is of me to run up the hill?
That was your business.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna answer the question anyway.
Why are you off the grid?
It does not feel good to me. That is the most basic way of explaining it.
But you hopped off the grid before.
What doesn't feel good to you? What doesn't feel good to you?
Like, you haven't been on the grid for a minute. Like,
since I've met this man.
Like, you was never even on the G.
The grid was never there.
We off the grid. Yeah, listen, what I'm saying is, it never felt like there was something substantial there for me. It felt like maybe it was because I knew the way that people gave it up online, and that just wasn't them.
The way they gave it up.
Yeah, like the way they give it up online. It's like that ain't you.
Just giving it up.
Yeah, man. I too often meet people, and maybe again this is me judging. No, it is me judging. They're trying to give some sort of persona. This is not new. I'm not the first person with this take. They're trying to give some sort of persona, and you see them, you meet them, they're just not
giving
that at all. Yeah, it's not that energy at all.
Yeah, I know people in real life. I'm like,
yeah, especially when it comes to people in relationships too. It always looks beautiful, paradise.
It's always,
and that's all cap all the time.
Yeah, always. But also you have to think about. So some people have, I don't want to say poor intentions in a sense, but they purposely put out a different persona than who they truly are. Yeah. But also there are people who are realistically, I'm only going to post the good. I'm only going to give, social media is a highlight reel. I'm going to give you the best version of me.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm trying to fool you on who I'm not really am. It's just
I'm just giving you a piece of me.
I'm just giving you that piece of me. But there are people who
it's like the number one sampler at the restaurant. You know what I mean?
You know what?
I'm going to offer you the best.
Because now I got to step away for a second.
I just give you the best, the highlight reel. The best sampler at the restaurant.
The best. Okay.
It's the recommended sampler.
The recommended is the staff pick.
Yeah. But sometimes I probably post the majority of when it's the highlight reel.
No, of course. No, most people are going to. Most people aren't thinking, let me post when I look ridiculous. Even though you do those little, I don't even know what it's called, but those little transition, where you looking like whatever you look like when you wake up in the morning, and then you stomp on your phone, and then,
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, like those type, and then you pick the phone up, and then now you're all glamified.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, so you're into that stuff, so you will give that side, like a bit of that.
Yeah. Occasionally I do like on stories and stuff too. But yeah, I could 100% acknowledge that like I don't always be like posting like all the time, like when I'm not like done up or semi together. Yes. So
how long does that how long on average does it take you to feel good enough to post something?
It just kind of depends though, like, because it could be like on my Instagram feed, that's a different level of like feeling good to post something, and like on my story, that's a different level. You know what I mean? Like,
so for you to post something, like it be a post, how long are you going to be working on yourself to feel good enough?
I don't have to work on myself long at all. But the thing is, like, okay, so Monday through Friday, usually between 9 to 5, I'm either giving Riley or I'm giving Huey. You know what I mean? Cute Huey or like stylish Huey. You know what I mean? So sometimes I don't always want to be
Riley.
From the Boondocks.
No, I know that, but 9 to 5, Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday, because sometimes I have straight backs on, like, you know, my hair is in straight backs. So I'm
straight backs again for the white people, cornrows,
or like, or I'm giving,
you gotta do that.
You have to clarify.
So most of the time, like, especially working from home, I don't always do much to like be that presentable. I guess I do now because on my job, like, we have a lot of video calls, but like, you know, I just don't necessarily want to be posting myself in my crusty, like,
give it up, both of y'all. During video calls for your job, how often were you just pantless with just what you needed on top?
I've never been pantless.
You never did that. Okay, so all right, all right. So that's not a thing. Why? Is it because you feel like you need to have the whole feeling of the whole outfit?
I don't feel like I'm never really pantless.
You just don't be pantless.
I don't be pantless
unless I'm asleep. Like, that's how I go to bed.
Right.
Like, in the house.
Aside from that, you don't just be in the house.
Yeah,
I just don't, because then I'm just sitting on stuff like bare bottom. Like, I just think that's wild.
I don't think he meant ass out. I think he just meant like panties on.
But I'm saying, like, that's
boxers on.
That's what I'm thinking when he says, like,
she thought coochie out on the call. I don't think that's what he meant necessarily. I think he just meant no pants.
He said bare bottom, right?
He said pantless.
Pantless.
Not pantyless.
Listen, to each his own.
Coochie out on the call is crazy.
To each his own.
No, I've never been.
But even still, why am I in panties just sitting on the couch, like in public places? So even still, let's go down.
What you mean public places?
I'm not saying public spaces, but I'm like the couch that I sit on. I have people over.
Okay, yeah.
So now I'm just gonna have my friends laid up and sleeping on the couch where my ass be out sometimes.
Okay, well, panties is different. I mean, one, I don't do that, but two, even if I did, like,
panties is better than my booty.
Oh, ass out. Yes, yeah, don't just be on that couch ass
but
out.
But also too, I just
why is somebody asking?
You know, but there's some niggas that's like, it's my couch. Right. You know, some niggas is like, it's my couch.
Does it?
What the fuck I want to do.
Does it matter if it's like leather or if it's cloth or does any of this?
That definitely does tie into it, but I'm still like, why?
Yeah, but like for me, it's like
you're on the couch.
The only time I am pantsless for real is like in my room, in my bed. You know.
Okay.
So like I've had interviews or like conference calls where I have on like some like chill shorts on and like my top half. I mean, maybe that's the equivalent.
Business casual, whatever.
Okay, so maybe that's the equivalent of like the pants.
Yeah.
Like if I was to stand up, they'd be like,
right.
Still, I was. Yeah. Okay, Sylvia. Actually, that's a funny story. I thought that happened during one of my recent interviews for the job that I have right now.
Gosh.
I thought during my interview that I stood up and walked away from the camera and they could see that I had on like these like kind of like booty shorts or whatever. Like they're just like my night shorts.
Okay.
And I'm going to say they didn't because I don't think I'd have the job if they did. You know what I mean?
Or you got the job because they did. Is another way of looking at it.
I'm not looking at it that way. I'm thinking that they didn't see it. Literally afterwards, I had to reenact the exact movement and posture, like so I could look in the camera and be like,
And what'd you come away with?
They couldn't see it.
Oh, okay.
But also my job too, we're very we're casual, not business casual. We're casual, so I could wear this to work.
Yeah, my job is also casual.
So,
do you guys want to do some plugging real quick? What do you got on?
Go ahead. Some Hard Grind. This is a Black-owned business. I don't know if he still goes by J Bill. I think he goes by Hattie Rashad now.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Black Owned Business, Hard Grind. Go visit that website. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Hardgrind, like, .com?
Yeah, I think it's hardgrind.com.
Okay.
Might be Hard Grind Apparel.
Yeah, it might be Hardgrind.
Hardgrindapparel.com.
Yeah.
I was about to say, how did they get that domain name? I feel like Hardgrind should have been taken.
Yeah.
Hardgrind Apparel.
Very cozy, men's and women's fits. Like I said, go support a Black-owned business. One of my goals this year was to support one Black-owned business per month. So this is, I purchased multiple things from there. But
And she's on the podcast, so.
Supporting one Black business.
Yeah.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Absolutely.
This hat is from Promise, Black-owned business. Promise Art. You can find them on Instagram. There's so much stuff from Promise. I probably should have wore a shirt too, but there's like t-shirts, hats, different apparel and stuff like that. My other friends like also have a thing. I don't know if you know my friend Najib, like he does rap. Mikey will talk about him occasionally at his music. Like they have Hamo merch that's out. So if you follow Soupy Hamilton or Soupy on Instagram, you can get some merch.
Okay, Najib, that's what you said. What's he up to? Like, what's he on? What's his raps about? What's he talking about?
He talks about everything.
I think you would like his music.
Yeah,
actually.
I think you would like his music a
That's
lot
right.
as well.
It's vibey.
Yeah, you should check it out. Yeah.
It's vibey.
It's vibey.
very
Like,
much
you know,
a vibe.
I mean, you know me. I don't be listening to anything.
Yeah, it's definitely a vibe. I love it.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's definitely songs on his like projects that like you can get with that like everyone can resonate with.
Yeah, most recent album. You should check that one out.
Yeah. It's very
Okay.
good.
All right, out of the plugs. We're going to go back to me answering that question of why I don't like to be on the social media.
Yeah.
Okay, well I have to get it.
Yeah, go do your thing. I'm taking turns, taking bathroom breaks.
All this nice tasty wine that you provided.
Yeah, matter of fact, let me go
Courtesy
ahead and...
to the
Oh, yeah,
chef.
I guess we should do that, too, since
Yes.
we're doing them.
Yeah.
The McBride Sisters Collection. Sparkling Root Rosé is what we got here. Actually, they actually came to my job. These ladies, yeah.
Oh, I think you told me that. And then were you able to have a conversation with them, or was
No, that did not. You just dreamt that. You just
No,
came up with that.
I thought maybe.
Oh yeah, someone did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Very
Someone close
true.
to you did have that
Yeah, it
conversation.
just wasn't me. Yeah. That's very true. Okay. Yeah. No, I just
You gifted me that at my housewarming, didn't you?
I
Was it
did
you?
gift you
Yeah.
that. Yes, I
You
did.
gifted me that.
You remembered that part.
I
That's
did.
nice.
I always appreciate that.
Social media for me is just, God damn, it's the worst. It's the one I just
I
can't.
agree.
I post these things, these videos and all that because
Yeah.
it's
There's
part
a lot
of the
of
brand.
good that comes out of it, but there's
It
a lot
is.
of bullshit that comes out of it as well.
It is. So I understand that it's just something I kind of got to do if I want this to be out there.
Right.
I do not enjoy it. I'd much rather pay someone
To do it for you.
to do this for me. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
As soon as I can do that, that will be the case.
I feel you.
Because I don't ever want to. I just want to come here and talk to people.
Yeah. You
And
just want to just
and-
do that.
Exactly, and
Yes.
let everyone else do whatever it is they need to do.
Yeah.
For me to pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like, and what's funny is this doesn't mean deep, it doesn't mean profound, it doesn't mean otherworldly, intellectual, but I just like real moments with people.
Yeah.
I just like real moments. Now, this is that. It doesn't, like, the conversation doesn't have to get that deep. It's not that.
Right.
I
It's
just like
real
it.
time.
Matter of fact, Kanye, graduation, was that 2009?
Yeah.
Something like that? Track 5, Good Life, T-Pain.
Classic.
He said, and we like the girls who ain't on TV because they got more ass than the models. That line right there, I'm not necessarily going to touch on, no pun intended, like the ass part of it. But what it kind of reads to me is we just want like some cool, chill people, like some
Right.
regular ass, cool, chill
Right.
people.
Right.
And so that's where I thrive. I just like being around people. They're just cool and like we can just have conversations.
Yeah. There's no
and
ulterior motive.
Yeah.
To
So
get
you're
the-
saying you wouldn't talk to a woman who was Instagram famous?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like in person. Yeah, in person I'd like to talk to her. Like we can have that conversation. But I don't like to do too much conversation through social media. There's too much ego, I think, involved in people's
Right.
personas online.
Yeah.
Like people don't want to show how giving or how generous or how kind or sweet they might really be on social media because people have like these weird ego dynamics of like, I don't want to give you this. Like following, for instance. Like, oh, you can follow me, but I'm not going to follow you. Right. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be about, I don't like your content. It's just going to be, you're not about to get the follow for me because I'm a tier above you. So
Yikes.
like that is a mentality. Like I don't follow people. People follow me. I'm a leader.
People follow Mikkel.
Okay.
You got followers.
No, I don't.
Her ratio.
I don't.
Go look at the ratio.
But here's the thing.
So talk to me about it.
But let me talk. Okay, so I do think that some people are like that, where they're like, "I'm not following you back because I'm too cute." Like, whatever. I don't really care. Do your thing. That's not how I feel. I only want to follow people who I have either a personal relationship with or I'm interested in the content that you post. I don't want to follow random people that I do not. If I don't care about you, I don't want to follow you.
Okay.
That's just how I feel. I don't want to see random nonsense. I don't want to just get on my social media and just see a bunch of people who I'll never speak to ever in my life. Who I just don't want to see that. I want to get on and be like, okay, I know you personally. We have some type of, whether we talk every day or whether we don't. Like,
right.
I know you in real life, or if it's like a celebrity, like an artist or something that I follow, like I like the content that you post. That's the reason why I don't follow.
There are going to be people that hear this and don't see that they have that follow back and think, "Wow, I thought she did care."
That is gonna happen, but that is the curse of the podcast. By the way,
that's not how I don't. It's not that. It's not that I don't care about your life. That's not how I feel. If we don't have a personal connection, then that's probably why I didn't follow you back. And so I just want to say that.
And they're gonna be like, "I thought we did have."
She's talking to specific people in her mind right now.
I'm not. I don't even know. And if I'm being completely honest, sometimes I don't know. Some people will call me out in person, which I really don't like when they do that. It makes me feel really uncomfortable because I just don't like that much attention. But they're like, oh, "You didn't follow me back," and I'm like,
"Oh, that's that intrusion that you were talking about before.
I didn't know
just
that
popping up on FaceTime without it being solicited."
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't realize you had a social media, or like I never was checking to see like, and then I feel all uncomfortable. And I just feel bad, but it's like it didn't mean it. I didn't have any poor intentions behind it. I'm just
dang.
Like I don't even be like for real. I post photos on social media, but like still knows I don't even be watching stories like that. Like I just hop on when I hop on.
Everybody was watching stories because like we're not on Snapchat. Like the whole Snapchat story thing translated. So like to me, I just be watching stories.
To me though, I post, but I don't necessarily watch all the time. Like I'll get on Sylvia, be like, "Oh, did you see that thing on?" I'm like, "Oh no, let me go check. I ain't been on. Like let me go check." But like I post. I just don't do a lot of watching. I don't. Guys, don't hate me.
Anyway, this is the curse of the pod. And if it's okay to say, is it okay to say that you're starting to think about making a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was about to say, damn, Mike, Mikey's gonna have to reverse the whole thing or edit it out.
Right,
if at the very end you're just like, no, don't say that.
No.
Okay, cool. So have you thought about that part of it?
What?
You're thinking about a lot of technicalities, like what equipment to get and this, that, and the third. But have you thought about your voice, your message being on the airwaves and what that brings back to you? Because people are going to come tap you on the shoulder sometimes and be like, "Hey, I heard the episode the other day. So what's up? Like, what's going on?"
So my whole perception and thought process is nobody's really going to do that. Like, I'm not even thinking about that. And if they do, I'll just deal with it as it comes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like when talking about stuff on a public platform, I don't want to be name dropping. Like, literally, like in one of the episodes that we did, like me and I couldn't figure out a way to like tell her like, you know, that person that like we sometimes talk, and then we literally like we're dying laughing because I'm like, I can give you a hint, but it's gonna be obvious. Like everybody would know who I'm talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I gave a good hint. Like texted her, she got it, and like we could still have that conversation, but like nobody else will know. You know what I mean?
Girl does it all the time.
Yeah.
What do I do?
The names.
Like a hint. He'll make
I give people pseudonyms.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, if you have somebody else on the show, like, you have to discuss that ahead of time. Sometimes, like the episodes that we recorded, it'll just come up, like, randomly. Like, it'll be like, "Oh, yeah, you know, somebody that does this." But, like, "Yeah, you remember that one that we was just talking about?" And then in that moment, you just, like, "What? No, I don't remember." And then it's like, you gotta give context clues. But, yeah, people pulling up on me about, that don't bother me at all. It's not, like, I don't really care.
Number one reason why you want a podcast?
My whole thing is like I said, I want to be in entertainment news, and I just feel like sometimes I haven't been necessarily afforded the opportunities that I want to have. So I just feel like I should just create them for myself.
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. And like the times that I actually have created opportunities for myself, other like opportunities have presented themselves.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I was able to like have on my resume like now. So
Okay.
That's my whole thing.
I will support, but you already knew that.
Yes. Yes, I will be tuning in. Yeah, I'll be tuning in. As soon as you feel the confidence and you drop the thing, like we'll be tuning in.
Syl's done all the trades. Sylvia used to like sell merch. I was like, give me that hat. I'm gonna buy that hat.
I did
like
sell hats.
all the things.
I thought that would be my thing.
Oh, like doing like a little boutique type of thing?
Like it was just like
I'll be seeing people tell me about this. I see people doing like this boutique thing on Instagram.
Oh, like selling like their clothes or like their closet, right?
So that's what it is? Like they purchase like people there are people that purchase
like
a bunch of food.
It's clothes that you like
it's
had
just resale.
You just resell
that. Hers wasn't like that. Hers was like actually like she
like
bought merch, got it personalized and sold it.
Yeah, and like was selling it.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about is like it's just like clothes that they've
that
already
you don't wear anymore.
Yeah, just don't wear anymore.
Or you
but
never
they're still
wore,
in style.
Yeah.
So you sell those. Like a Poshmark type of thing.
More money off of going to Plato's closet.
Right.
Heels, flats, sneakers. Mikhail.
Sneakers.
Which kind?
I'm not a Jordans person. I'm just Nikes. I should say Nikes. I'm like a cozy sneakers. I like white sneakers. Yeah.
You too, Syl. Heels, flats, sneakers. Go.
Realistically, sneakers.
Realistically.
And also it can depend.
You can be agile, do what you need to do.
Yeah, sometimes I pull up in a little booty, a little heel.
She'll pull up in a heel.
I'll pull up in a little heel.
Oh, okay.
But it has to be comfortable though, because.
Now, when was the last time you had to fight somebody?
Fight somebody?
Yeah.
This is actually something that sounds crazy.
Did you have heels on? Did you have heels on when you did it?
Physically fight somebody? I don't actually think I have been in a physical.
Oh, hey, look at you! You all right? You
but
winning.
I regret it.
Oh, you.
There are times I always say that, like we were just talking about this with my family, and I'm like, yo, I wish I would have fought more, like when I was younger. But also too, it's like you can't fight unless somebody wants to fight you.
Well, there were a lot of niggas I knew that just came up and started punching niggas.
So I think because I'm a very conscious individual, I've never allowed myself to just, because then the story's gonna read that Sylvia attacked this girl.
Dude, that's funny.
Speaking of which, Artie told us a story at Austin's birthday party about an altercation that you guys got in when y'all were young.
Mm-hmm.
It was after a party.
When I got punched in my neck,
and then you took off running, went home, and nobody could see you ever again, and he just took the hits and
he ran off like this.
Survived.
I mean,
see, I don't like the see the way
I was like, what? He was like, Mikhail, gone.
RJ was the reason that we even got jumped and punched on.
I'm dead because
did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said he said he was at the party and he was like, I feel like somebody's gonna get in a fight. Yes. And then he was like, I didn't know that it was gonna be me. It'd be me that was in that fight.
And so
he said it came out of nowhere, like it was no reason.
It was a lot of people, and there was a reason. The reason was we were sitting there looking like we didn't belong. Because RJ wanted to sit off to the side.
Like Sumner Lake, which is like an all-white neighborhood for those who don't know Sumner Lake.
Beautiful place. Fountains.
So imagine just the niggas outside. It's like,
I don't know nothing.
Yeah, like they wasn't supposed to be there. Like they wasn't from around there really. But they came through and at least they let the party rock for as long as the party was supposed to rock for. And then everyone just left because the party was over. Right. So at least it was one of those.
Okay.
Right? Because it always sucked when someone ruined the party, right in the middle of the party.
Oh my God, we're having fun.
So we get outside and RJ's like, come on, man. I was like, yo, you trying to walk back to the house? Because my house is like 5 minutes down the road. I'm like, you trying to walk back to the house? He's like, nah, man. Like, there's going to be a fight. Like, we got to wait for the fight. Like, we got to see that. And I was like all right, man. Like, because there's always
something like a late night snack.
It's always, that's a part of the
idea. We'll be working tonight. We got to wait for it.
Someone going to fight.
We gotta get a snack before we go.
That's a part of the going out itinerary. Like, there's going to be a fight.
Yikes.
There's going to be a fight.
That's true. I mean, at every house party in high school, that was the case.
Yeah. Two things you're guaranteed.
But I've never heard anyone say,
twerking and fighting.
For it. I've never heard someone like, let's wait around for the fight. You usually just pop off. So that's funny that it was a plan. Like, hold on. Drinks, okay, cool. Twerking, okay, cool. Wait, the fight part. We didn't check that off the list. Everybody waited out.
Stay.
And this was before we was drinking, so we were just sober getting punched.
Which is probably better in the long run.
Yeah, and what's funny is it was a long run for me because I took off. I mean, like, once this dude, because the dude got out of the car and I seen him, like, he had like the shifty eyes the whole time.
Right,
I'm like, they not here. Like, it's probably gonna be them. But he had walked so far off into the crowd so he could get lost in the crowd, right? And then he came up behind everyone. It's me, it's Henry at the time, and RJ. So I'm on the far left. We're all just sitting there, just looking around, looking stupid.
Who gonna fight?
Just looking around, just waiting for something to happen. And he walks past my two friends.
Right.
And punches me in the neck.
That still is for no reason, though.
Right.
Even if you say that it looks like we don't belong, that's like literally no reason.
Do we think it was a wrong identity situation? Do we think this man was looking for trouble?
No. I knew someone that knew them, and they was like, yeah, no, we just chose them because they look like they didn't have anyone to help them. Right. Little did they know we knew everyone there. Like this is our party.
Right. There's some niggas that did just be like, I wanted to fight and I like fighting.
Yeah, no,
we know people like that.
That's what people were doing back then. Like we're
just see where it goes.
We're in the crib. We're getting together. You know, y'all be in the crib like pre-gaming or whatever. You're having some drinks. You're getting together. You're putting on your heels or your sneakers. Whatever it is you're doing, you're getting together. There are some niggas in the crib and they're like, oh, hey, you ready? Like, you ready to do this? Like, we wrecking somebody tonight. Like, we wrecking somebody tonight.
Why is there built up anger?
I mean, it's a lot of therapy. A lot of when you start realizing.
I guess when you're in high school, it's not.
Nobody's talking about therapy.
Clowning. People just in there just clowning for no reason. It's people that will fight at the bus stop.
Right, wake up off the early. It's 6:30 in the morning. How you got fighting hands right now?
Now I gotta.
You still got the crust in your eyes and you're squaring up.
Now you knocked my cereal out of my hand.
Yeah, that is true.
The cereal get on you, and now you gotta go to school like that.
I never had that experience.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sil. I never had that experience.
It's never actually happened to me,
but you wanted to fight more so that you had some skills underneath your belt. So like you knew that if somebody came up, like you knew you got the hands.
That's not why.
What you mean that's not why? I don't know the exact. This is.
You just got some aggression you need to get
over. Here's the reason why.
I don't know why. I just want to fight.
I'm sorry. Here's the reason why. I feel like fighting at this age, there's more serious repercussions. For fighting. Yeah. I feel like if I was to fight when I was a teen, like, ooh, I'm fighting while I'm a teen. Like, it's no big deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just, you know what I mean? It's just like
just to have the experience.
For some people, yes. For some people, there are not many serious repercussions, but I just feel like that could have been a great part of like my life story.
This is a very weird segue into something that was kind of in my mind.
That's just how I feel.
Okay. So you meet a guy,
okay,
or a woman.
Okay.
You start dating. How long into dating until you guys can start having conversations about what non-negotiables are in regards to raising children?
Oh.
Things that you feel like you cannot really compromise on. Like we have to, like they have to know this thing. They have to do this. Like we can't really compromise that.
When you say dating, you mean like officially claimed you are together?
Well, unless you feel like the conversation should be had before that.
That's a good question. Yeah.
The reason I say that it comes to mind is because you're talking about security. Well, what you're talking about is fighting as a child. And I would wonder how you all feel about letting your young girl out, right? And at what age can she go out? Can she experience certain things? Because I know that is a very high point of contention for a lot of parents.
Right.
Some people, like, it's usually the guy that would allow, like the father that would allow the daughter to go out and try to do some things. And then moms are like, do you have any idea what's going on out here in the world? Like, you not just, no, she's not going out.
Right.
And then the rebuttal would be, so then when does she start to learn to go out? Because at some point she's got to leave.
Right.
So we can't have her go out at some point in time when she's 18, 19 years old. And now she don't know how to, not even how to defend herself physically, but how to walk with confidence. Right. Because people are looking, again, I'm so glad you brought up that story about me getting punched in the neck. People are looking for victims that way. Like, how do you look? Do you look like you have some confidence? Like you might know how to do something, right? Exactly. Or do you just look scared, like you're not supposed to be around here?
The thing is, though, like, you could go out all the time and still look scary. So, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that could be like a personality trait versus like you learned how to like move out in public. You know what I mean? Like being street smart. Like some people are street smart and probably wouldn't do that. Some people still go out avidly and are not street smart and will always look like they don't belong. You know what I mean?
I think that
like, you know, there's certain skills that I feel like unless you like are actively like being intentional and teaching that just from going out, I don't think it's
even just think about my niece.
Are they going to take some classes, some boxing, some MMA?
My niece is 8 years old, and she's a little me already. Like, I'd be instilling things in her already.
Oh,
I'm like,
so she ready.
I'm like, Ava, when if someone says this to you, what do you say back? It's
always, what do you say? But it's like, if somebody put their hands on you.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, would you be adamant about maybe trying to get your daughter some fighting classes, some lessons? No, you don't care about any of that.
No, not that I don't care about that, but I don't think that.
But that's not a non-negotiable.
I think about it now. My parents never said, let's give Mikkel some boxing lessons, but at the same time.
There was something else going on with you. Like, they bred a certain type of person.
Saying, like, I mean, you gotta think about who my daddy is at the same time. Very like, true. If you raise a certain way, like,
very true. I'm scared just having you here.
Shut up. Like, there's certain things that you instill in your children based off of the values that you see. You know what I mean? So, like, they prepare, like, I don't want to say they prepare. They didn't prepare me to fight. For people who don't know me, I don't be fighting. I'm very
mentally though.
Like I have a certain mindset. Right. Like and you even have to think about it too. Like I went to private school up until high school. Like I didn't go to public school until high school. So most people would think, oh, you went to private school all those years of life. You probably a weirdo. You probably like very naive.
But she was crazy in the majority of your life.
It's very interesting that you have the
right, because that's just the way that I was raised. Like just because I went to a certain school doesn't mean that it's a certain stereotype. It's just the way that you raise your children. So like I'm gonna raise my children with
education
knowledge.
Starts at home.
It starts at exactly.
I would want my kids to learn how to physically defend themselves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it's like if you're a competitive individual and like you get into a fight, I'm sure you would hold your own because it's like I'm not finna lose. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's the attitude. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I'm definitely not losing.
I'm not losing. So like you know what I mean? Like I remember I used to tell my brother the main reason I be lifting is because I'm not you not finna body. You know what I mean?
I'm lifting because just in case I need to throw you.
It's
you're not
real,
lifting just for the health of it. And
it's a little bit of both, you know?
I wish somebody would try to. I wish somebody would.
I'm walking in the garage like, man. I'm like, why we don't got more weights? I gotta go up.
You know what? All right. And we touched on something too, and I'm gonna go back to again the non-negotiables, like the things that you all feel like you need your child to know, and like you gotta tell the other person, like, I'm sorry. Like they need this. Like this thing has to be implemented. Mm-hmm. How do y'all feel about people hitting on you at the gym? Like, have you had it done a right way?
Yes, I have.
And right way.
And let me also ask you this: was it the right way or was it the right person?
It was the right way.
It was the right way. Yeah. Okay, please.
I have always been. I don't even want to describe. I feel like if you just know me, I have always been a woman that has been very curvy. Okay. So when I go to the gym, it's just a lot of eyes that be on me, and like men are disgusting of all ages. Hold on. Let's get to that. There was a time where there was actually a man that would follow me around in the gym, like actively be following me. And like when I worked at Freedom Center, I would go downstairs like to the desk and be like, there's literally a man that's following me.
Okay.
Like,
so yeah, that's not the right way.
And like I peeped it, I can tell, and like I was younger then, it makes you feel really uncomfortable. Like you don't feel safe because it's like I could tell you look like you're like 35 or more, and like I'm probably only like 18 or 19, or like even in stories and stuff, like it's just very uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Whether it's like you think I'm cute or you want my number, whatever it is, it's like it's just very.
That's out of bounds.
What was the right way in your scenario?
Yeah, I can't wait for this. Honestly. You have to tell us.
Dang, what was it? Okay, so I had like my beats on. I was like lifting.
Ooh, you had the headphones on.
You were lifting, thinking about if somebody were to try to fight you.
No, I was just doing my thing. Yeah.
No, but that is a very important factor. You had the headphones on.
I had the headphones on, the beats one, so you know I can't hear nothing.
Noise cancellation, yes.
Yeah. So like I'm lifting, and I don't remember if he like kind of like waved in front of me, like kind of like to get my attention, like kind of tapped me. Or like to say something, and like, you know, and I'm sure he probably did that more than once because it probably didn't catch my attention. I have tunnel vision when I'm in those situations. And he was just like, hey, like, you know, I don't want to disturb your, like, what you're doing.
This is once you press pause.
Yeah. Okay. I press pause, and I'm thinking like, okay, what does this man want from me? He's just like, hey, I don't want to disturb like what you're doing, but I just had to tell you, like, you look like really pretty, and like I'd like to, you know, take you out, like if that's okay with you. It was very like kind.
I know
what
you're talking about.
Yes, it was very like that might even be verbatim what exactly happened, but it was very like respectful. Like I see you're in the middle of something.
I don't mean to disturb you.
And it's like,
but what if he was busted down broken? Because it might have been the right person.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
If he was coming up to you,
no, because also too you were talking. Because also too what Earl said right there is like, was it the right person or was it the right way? I never found that dude to be very attractive.
You thought he was busted out broken? Right, or you just thought that he wasn't overly attractive?
But the point is, in this conversation, in this question, it was the right way.
Yeah,
okay.
in this particular set of circumstances,
right. It could have been a different situation where I could have been like, he was the right one. But he wasn't doing what he needed to do.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
But it could just been like, but he was cute, so I couldn't say.
Yeah,
but what if it was Professor Clump and he came up to you the same way?
I would decline it respectfully, but I would always still keep that in mind of like, wow, look at how kindly this man.
Yeah, you'd still be able to discern.
I'm biased because I know that you went out with this person.
I did.
That's why I'm biased.
But I never thought that person was extremely attractive. And also too, I give a lot of people chances in general, just based off of how they approach me, or most of the time I'm just always open to like be like, you know, I never know where this could go. Let me not be judgmental. And like most of the time it's like, let's just see what happens, you know? But it's because of his approach.
Yeah. I had right approach, wrong person.
I'm sorry, Mikhail. I'm sorry. You do not understanding this opportunity right now. If you could just take a second to give us your @ please.
My @
Yeah. Your @ on Instagram, please.
I just came out of nowhere. I'm like,
oh, it didn't come out of nowhere, but go ahead.
It's @the scoop with .sil SYL.
That's all. That's all. That's all. She gives chances, is all I'm saying. She gives chances, is all I'm saying.
He said, oh, you get chances, slide in her DM.
But also understand, through the context of the conversation that you have to come correct.
Right.
That's all. Like,
That's facts.
I'm not just telling a bunch of scrubs to go there. If you got your shit together and you know how to speak to someone,
there are other
as well. The scoop.
She's like, there are other qualifications, but kindness is baseline. Kindness is
you have to be over the age of 24, 25. You still kind of reaching. You need to really kind of be 26, and between 26 and you didn't even give a cap. 30. 20,
32,
30,
31.
31. Yeah, this is just arbitrary.
Why can't we just give the minimum and then you can choose from there?
Yeah, I'll just decipher from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the minimum is what I'm hearing is kindness. You got to be 25.
25.
Yeah.
25 and kind.
Yeah.
All
Go
right.
ahead and
come on, we're not asking. Yeah, we're not asking for that much off the rip. We're not. 25 and kind, we're not asking for too much.
That's not. That's like the bare minimum.
That's the bare minimum.
That's the bare minimum.
But it's something nice to show up with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That's other things you should show up with as well.
That's a requirement. You know, when you go apply for a job and it's like, these are the requirements and this is like, this would be nice. That's a requirement.
100%.
Yeah. These are prerequisites.
Yeah,
for
period.
Sure.
But we also know that men apply for jobs.
Even if they're not qualified.
Even if they're not qualified. A woman will look at that and be like, they told me don't apply, so I'm not going to apply.
But that's my whole point about...
It's terrible. And that same thing seeps into the dating pool. You know what I mean?
121.
Because like you sitting here thinking like, oh, I can't, like, he wouldn't want to talk to me because, like, I'm not, like, you know, he's so cute.
Oh, I thought you meant the opposite. I thought you meant, like, men be like,
I'm about to flip it, though. I'm about to flip it. That's what men do, though. But, like, women may be like, dang, are we in the same category, you know, to some degree? Or, like, dang, I think he might be a little above my, like, women may have those conscious thoughts. Like, men is just like,
No, men do it too. Don't let these niggas fool you. Niggas is out here insecure and don't want to. Yes.
That's true.
What?
That is
1,000%.
Which men? The men with the iPhone 6 or
but the majority.
The men with the 13 Pro Max?
What was it the other? Dang, what is
Yeah, no, I don't have that no. If I'm really attracted to you and I want to talk to you, I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's on period. Just to let you know. Okay, now we're back.
Okay.
What do you need your child to have non-negotiable? Your partner has to know. They just got to know. We raising them with this. They need to know this, or they got to do. Like one, I think is already sports. I feel like for you, Mikhail, your child kind of has to.
I mean, I wouldn't. See, I feel like that sounds like the norm, right? Where it's like you have to play sports, but like
no, not have to play, but just you want them to be to know sports, the sports world. Like you want them to be active.
I feel like for me, I'm like ideal world. I would love for my child to play sports because of all the benefits. It doesn't have to be basketball,
right?
But if we're thinking realistically, might not happen.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not necessarily a non-negotiable where it's like our kid has to be exposed to sports.
Right.
That's not non-negotiable for me. Non-negotiable for me is God. Like I I want to be with a God-driven man.
Mikhail made fun of me. I was in the car with her. The song that she likes, what is it from Donda?
Lord, I Need You.
Lord, I Need You. And Kanye says, devil, get behind me. I'm loose. I'm free. And when he said that to me, just because I'm picking stuff up, I'm reading into stuff too much. Though. I thought Pure Souls.
Pure Souls classic. Mm-hmm.
When I first heard it, I heard devil. Okay.
Lucifer.
See?
No!
I thought devil get behind me. I'm loose, I'm free, but I'm also Lucifer free.
No.
Okay, listen.
Does that mean that you'd be saying I'm free of Lucifer?
Yeah.
He just
get behind me. Like I'm done with that.
Kanye intentionally did a play on words, and I told him I don't think that Kanye intentionally did a play on words.
And I often do that.
It's Kanye. I can see that.
I often give credit. I come up with a bunch of stuff in my mind, and I give credit where it's not due.
I feel like that's on brand. You know,
you think it's on brand.
If he came out and said that, I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't think that was.
You don't think he did it?
Yeah.
Just like the J. Cole interlude, I thought you might be upset at this.
Which one?
I
mean, what part of the interlude?
No, the whole song.
Oh, okay.
I thought that he was speaking from. No, I don't. I no longer thought that after I listened to it like 4 times. But the very first time I heard it, I thought he was speaking from the perspective of himself as well as the black community in the black plight, right? In this age, in this era. I also thought at the same exact time he was speaking from a police officer's standpoint.
Really?
Yes.
Is that because when it was released, we were like, it was heavily like George Floyd, like a lot of things, socially things were going on. Do you think that went to it, or do you think it's just period that was just your interpretation of it?
I think I listened to it one time, and if you go back and listen to the lyrics,
now I gotta go back and listen to it, and now I'm gonna think, okay, let me think of a police. I'm gonna try to think of it from that perspective. Now,
yeah, even him just saying, like I don't know, like a gang of blue or something like that, and talk about like Nipsey or something like that. But then at the same time, I'm thinking gang of blue.
Oh, when he said Nipsey went to heaven age 33, so did Jesus.
Right, and there was something before that about gang in blue, or like a bunch of people in blue or whatever.
Okay.
Or bunch of blues, like the Rolling 60s.
Right.
That's what he says, right? So bunch of blues. Now blues, like we're blue, we're sad.
You weren't thinking blues like music blues.
Well, yeah, blues, like blues, people being sad. Like it's a bunch of blues out here for people.
Oh, I got like music blues, the blues.
It's the same thing. It's the sentiment of feeling sad.
Right.
But also I'm thinking we ganged up, me and my blues. Like me and the rest of us wearing blue out here.
Right, killing it.
And the whole thing is about, right. So when you just go back and listen to it.
And I'm gonna listen to it now, just specifically thinking that perspective. Yeah. But that's interesting that you got that from the first listen.
So I do that a lot. Either way, I just wanted to say that. But okay, so they don't have to do sports.
They don't have to do sports. No, that's not a non-negotiable. No. Non-negotiable is
God,
education. And
not just any God. By the way.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a certain God that you're speaking on. It can't just be like anybody's idea of God.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about like the God of the sun and the God of the earth, but
if your child wanted to be a Muslim.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I mean, I don't know how they would be exposed to that necessarily unless my husband was Muslim. That would be
just TV.
Oh, so you would do that?
What, marry a Muslim?
Or anyone of any other different belief.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this, like, I'm not there. A non-negotiable for me isn't necessarily like I have to marry it's not like something I have to like completely cut off. I mean, I prefer to marry a Christian man.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're open to the possibilities
because I don't know what that looks like.
Right,
if we're being realistic, like I've dated one type of person, majority of my life. So yeah. So I'm not necessarily cut off to that, but God is non-negotiable. Education is non-negotiable. There's no doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to college. I don't mean that, but like you going to high school, you're going to get there's no, let's just let them stay home and there's no.
Oh no, that's good.
You know what I mean? Discipline is non-negotiable. We are the parents in this household.
Okay. Now let's unpack the nuance. What does discipline mean?
I mean,
because there are many forms, right?
So we ain't talking Caucasians like fuck you, mom. No, because you gonna get these hands.
Oh,
you know, I mean,
okay.
Like you know,
so you're with the corporal punishment, like you're trying to put your hands on your kids, like you.
Okay, well that's a very
or also like you guys CPS on speed dial, right?
I mean, I can't really say that. Like it's not like I plan to put my hands on my kids by any means. No, but like. At the end of the day, my kid is going to grow up with some respect. They're going to respect their elders. They're going to respect, that. So I don't foresee that being an issue. But at the same time,
but that's never like a first resort, though. Like putting hands on.
Absolutely not. I mean, who thinks like the first thing I'm going to do to my child is I'm going to beat my child?
A lot of people think that.
Right.
Yeah. No. Sure. Or it's like, well, why did they? I don't know. I guess that's a hard thing to discuss because kids is crazy. No matter how you raise them.
It is trying to have. I mean. I've just been talking about trying to have a relationship with someone and just all the nuances of that and how difficult that can be.
So crazy. So many layers.
Without a child.
And no one gives you a handbook on how to do it.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So then when you have a child, you got to think about all the different ways you want to raise this child. And this other person, you may not have had those conversations early enough on now.
Yeah. You might not be on the same page
at all.
For sure.
So, you laid up in bed with old boy and your 13-year-old daughter comes up and she's like, yo, they all headed to a party tonight. Like everyone's going to be there. It's the first one. Like, can I, it's 4 of us. I have a phone. Y'all got me a phone at this point. What's up? It's 20 minutes across town.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
what's up?
In my head, my parents were never the ones to tell me I couldn't go.
Okay. So you think you would follow suit?
I feel like
my parents told me I couldn't go.
Okay.
My parents were never the ones to. And also myself, I never was the one who wanted to go necessarily. Like I've always been the homebody, but at the same time, if I wanted to go, my parents were never the ones who told me I couldn't go. So I feel like that also helped where I am now because I'm like, there was never like, and you can probably speak to this from a different scenario. There was never a point where I was like, well, I can't go. My parents won't let me go. Like I never felt like I was never a part of that. I always had the option. Like they always instilled that trust in me. So like, I think. I kind of helped. Like I didn't act up because I was like,
I always felt that way.
Wait, what way exactly?
Well, I couldn't go nowhere. Like there was a lot of times.
Very straight to the point.
I could not go nowhere.
Okay, so do you feel like you would end up allowing your daughter to do so because you didn't have it?
I think I want my child to be able to have experiences that resonate with them and feels good for them and their growth.
So if they said crack.
Whoa.
I think we got it.
Mom, I really want to try crack. I just want to see if I like it.
Notice how, like, when Mikkel gets asked questions, like, I'm just in here in support and everything like that.
And then she's throwing curveballs.
So if he would have came up and punched you. Ma'am. Would it have been that he punched you or he was the wrong one that punched you?
The wrong one that punched you.
Like, what is this?
Because I'd be on games.
There being a right one to punch you is hilarious.
But I'll say what my
know what, he was cute though, girl. So I couldn't even. I'm being honest, I couldn't even do it. He had them dimples. I just couldn't even.
And I've been noticing him for a while.
Yeah, like you can go ahead punch away.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. Okay, but the non-negotiable, right? So let me start from there, then it will stem to where I'm going here.
Okay.
So when you initially asked that question, you said the one non-negotiable, right? Or you said
sure.
So I interpreted it as the one non-negotiable. So
okay.
One non-negotiable for me when it comes to raising kids is having emotional intelligence and emotional intelligence and like being able to set boundaries and like know your true self, right? Like my whole perspective,
like specifically being intentional about teaching it.
I like where you're going. I like where you're headed.
So like my whole thing is that like I feel like when you have kids, like they're kind of seeds that come out. Like there's all different types of.
They definitely seeds.
They're all different types of plants for sure. They're all different types of plants, right?
Yes.
Most of them start off as seeds. Mm-hmm. Like as a parent, I feel like your job is just to kind of like nurture this seed. Like water it, put it in the best circumstances for it to be successful and for it to grow. Because most of the time, like your child already has like their personality. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I just think about like I always think about like Tia and like with the twins, like how it's like the way they act now is how they were behaving in her stomach. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they both had that same energy and those same
characteristics.
Characteristics. You know what I mean? So the whole thing is like I feel like they are going to have their own personality that's already kind of determined for them. I feel like my whole outlook is to make sure that you all are conscious individuals that feel secure in yourself and will never have to look outside of that for that. You know what I mean? Okay. Respect yourself, have boundaries for yourself. And I just feel like you'll always be able to navigate the world appropriately if I'm able to give you that foundation. You know? I feel like a lot of people, we all lack a lot of emotional intelligence and like the ability to like set boundaries. And because of the different content that I see, like with raising kids or like reading different books, like I'm reading a book right now, Set Boundaries, Find Peace. It's written by a Black therapist. And like it kind of... You
know her name by any chance or no?
Dang it, no.
It's all right.
I don't. But Set Boundaries, Find Peace.
Yeah, we got the title.
Yeah. But like, she speaks of like the different ways that kids are raised and how that shows up in adulthood. And not the best ways in terms of your boundaries. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I feel like most people, not a lot, I don't think, well, let me just say this. I think a lot of people don't necessarily have the tools to like do these types of things. They may not be doing the work or you were never exposed to it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like the whole thing of like when kids, this is something that everybody knows. Like when adults is ready to leave, kids is leaving, everybody's like, give me a hug, you know what I mean? And like everybody's like, you gotta give a hug. But sometimes, you know, kids be like, no, I don't want to. There's a passage in the book that talks about, you know, like if you tell your child to hug somebody, even though they say they don't want to, what that translates to that child is that you don't necessarily respect their boundaries and how they feel about things. And as they get older, you don't like, they just don't naturally know how to shed that apart. So now like you're 14 and 15, like feeling like,
but there also has to be some sort of compromise, right? Of just sociability, like being out in the world. Because then you don't want to just be like, no, you're fine. You don't have to do any of these things you don't want to. And then no one wants to be their friend. They don't have no friends.
But also, it has to be some type of slippery slope.
That's what I'm saying, that like with emotional intelligence and boundaries, there's like a lot of different like tools and ways to do it. And I know it's going to take a lot of time, energy, and research on my part and whoever I'm with, you know? But I'm totally okay with that because I just feel like the outcome is worth it.
It's really funny you said that because I've been thinking about that a lot, emotional intelligence in the children. I know. Why are you laughing at me?
The children?
No, I'm such an old nigga. The children, the youths. But no, because for some reason I just have like a really soft spot. So we all seen The Pursuit of Happiness. We all cried when Will Smith was in the bathroom holding Jaden. Like those types of things, like break me down.
To this day.
Yeah, man, that jump.
Right, it's crazy. It's different.
Yeah.
So I Am Legend when the dog dies. Samantha.
Yeah.
I've never seen I Am Legend, so I don't know.
That's all right. We're not even gonna get on her. That's all right.
But we
could. Two other times though, where Jay-Z was talking about Blue Ivy, trying to get all these names right?
You got it right.
And he was saying I guess he was trying to get her ready to go to school or whatever. And he was like, yo, come on, like get in the car, like we gotta go, like we're late, you gotta get in the car. And he was driving down the road and she was like, Daddy? He was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I didn't like the way that you told me to get in the car earlier. Like, it really hurt my feelings. Mm-hmm. And he said he just turned around and was like, that was like the most beautiful thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah.
Like, that is so beautiful for you to say that, to have that emotional intelligence and that vulnerability with me. Like, cause I need that comfortability. Yeah, I need that.
Right.
I need you to be able to feel comfortable talking to me about whatever.
And imagine though, some parents may be like,
you don't shut up.
How dare you tell me something like that?
There was a trend. Remember there was a trend on social media like that?
There was a thread that was going on that was talking about people allowing their kids to choose what they eat.
Like no, I'm talking about the video. The people will video their parents.
Oh, like when they ask them, yeah. Say, Mom, I feel like you haven't been that nice.
You haven't been that nice.
It was adults. It was like kind of adults too, like older people.
Yeah, a
lot of parents would be like, "Girl, you don't get up out my face." Like, what are you talking about? All the black parents be like, "Stop playing with me." Like, what is wrong with you?
This one white girl went like super viral for her. So her mom was like, "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry."
Like, what did I do? Like, should we get like some food? Like, what did I do? Did I say something bad? Like,
she's like, "I'm so
sorry." Like, what's wrong?
I tried to like hug her. It was like super sweet. Yeah. And there was like, then she like the one of this black mom who's like, nice to you. Don't come over here. Then she was like popping off. I was like, oh, come on.
Moms be like, nice to you. Don't you live here rent free?
Right, like I brought you in this world.
You have clothes on. Don't you? And like the thing is, there's nothing
trying to get us.
That's love, you know. It's but all I'm saying is,
so I love these moments like the Jay-Z Blue Ivy moment because for me, what clicks in my mind immediately, like if I'm him, is I need to stop the car right now, because you're talking about emotional maturity, right? And instilling that into them. And you're right. You hear about IQ all the time, but you don't hear about EQ, which is the emotional quotient. So people never talk about being smart in that sense.
Right.
So I would stop the car and sit there and have that conversation with her, because those moments, those can't slip away. Like us being some jaded adults that are just like about our time. Like, well, listen, we got to get to school. I'm not worried about you being upset about me telling you get in the car, like whatever. Right. But to realize that this is a whole human being that you're raising.
Who's like 6.
Right. And that you see this beaming light because they even have that emotional intelligence to be able to just say that. That's something you have to lock into and nurture that moment.
Right.
Pull over. So now you're stopping and you're showing them that like you just said, what they're going through, their experience matters to you.
Right, exactly. Because that translates not just, because, once you are outside of your house, you're just an everyday person. Like, don't nobody give a damn who your parents are. You know what I mean? Like, no one's looking like, oh, like, I'm his daughter. Like, don't nobody care. You're just a normal person in everyday life. So, like,
and you might get made fun of. You might get picked on for being so affluent, honestly.
But honestly, not necessarily, because it's like you could have emotionally intelligent kids that are also like street smart and know how to defend themselves and go about their business. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Two can exist at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like, but my whole thing is like, that's very high on my scale of like things that like I want my children to be able to have, because I feel like when you have emotional intelligence and you have your own voice, it puts you in great situations, confidence-wise, and in situations where other people could take advantage of you or manipulate you. You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like as adults, sometimes we're doing the work to kind of like shed back those layers and learn how to kind of repair some of those things that we didn't necessarily learn. You know what I mean? Like trying to set those boundaries. Yeah. When you don't have boundaries, it impacts everything in your life, like your friendships, your romantic relationships, dating, your work life, everything. It spills into everything. You know what I'm saying? And like, you will literally run crazy without having boundaries. You know what I mean? So it's like by instilling this in a very young age, it's like this child can grow up and at least have that part big.
It's the same. It's really the same exact thing. Or it coincides. It aligns perfectly, I think, with what you were saying, with building your own brand, building your own things, creating your own opportunities. Because once you do that, then you start to see the opportunities start to come other ways. I think it's the same exact thing. You doing that work or having your guides, which would be your parents, you know what I mean, your guardians, helping you through that work is just going to allow you to have like this sort of indestructible, undeniable core to you. Right. And then foundation. From that's when like the world starts to sort of fall in your lap.
And can't nobody, once you have that foundation, the outside world can't even rock it. You know Can't nobody like fool with you.
Yeah, right.
You know,
like
when you think about elementary school, when you think about middle school, when you think about high school, even in college, so you have outside influences that sometimes can take you away from your core. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you don't have, I feel like I don't have all the answers. I acknowledge every parent and person is just doing the best that they can do.
That's
with
all
the resources that they have.
Right.
But I feel like something that plays into the ways that kids sway throughout their lives, you know what I mean, has to do with like something about that core and that foundation.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like from what I have seen in my perspective, like that's kind of what it is for me. It's like, I feel like at least if I instill this perspective, you have this emotional intelligence, you have this like voice for yourself, like other stuff that comes in, and it will come in, won't be able to rock you and sway you, because like you've been doing this shit for so long.
Yeah, you know exactly.
You're like, at 3, I was comfortable with what I was doing. So like at 12,
I said I want the rattle, not that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's real though. It's like people have been respecting my boundaries since then. So why would I get to be 15 and like fold?
Right. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like what happens in your household, like you don't even realize how it may impact you outside of your household. You know what I mean?
Education starts at home.
You're really watching your parents if you don't even realize it.
Right. 100%. So it's like if I'm teaching you this in the household, you know what I mean? Like we're honoring your boundaries, we're respecting your voice, obviously in a respectful manner. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be like a disrespectful way. You know what I mean? Like, but like honoring that, like showing you that you are a person, you matter, your voice matters, your stance matters, and no one should be able. And because like if I'm your parent and I'm honoring your stance, like how can you probably won't go out and let somebody else like just diminish your shit.
No.
It's like my mama don't even like do that shit. You know what I mean? So it's like that's kind of like my perspective on it. You know what I mean? Like if I set this foundation in this child, it's like once they walk out this house, they hold their head to a different way and can handle themselves in a different realm.
I like it, and I think that's when people get out and they hold their head high,
right?
You know what I mean, back straight,
right?
And they don't. Now, of course, you know, victimization like that can happen to anyone, right? For sure. You know what I mean, but it's something to have it, because someone. Right, is going to look at that person and be like, nah, they ain't the one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
or even if it is like you the one, but it's like you found the right one. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because sometimes it's like some people.
The right one.
I'm just saying, like, some people is like, I feel like somebody's always going to try you at some point. You know what I mean? It's like what Mikkel was saying, like, talk about the way that you were, like, grew up. It was like you may be able to verbalize your opinion and talk. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if somebody comes at you, you can verbally defend yourself. Yeah, right. If it escalates to physical, okay, whatever. Yeah. But like at least on the baseline, verbally, you can escalate. You can defend yourself.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. For
There's been multiple times where it's like, okay, I saw you pop off on that person and they folded, but it's like if you go pop off on me, you just have to know it's not going to end that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you found the right one, like because we ain't going that way.
That's very true. You have anything you'd like to add to that, or you just feel like she just killed it?
No, I mean I
think she killed it.
Yeah,
I think she did a really good job. I think
it was very
true. It was very articulate.
Thank you.
Just a woman that can go through strong things in life, you know?
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Put team on your back.
All right. This is called the Any Last Words Pod, in case you all didn't know.
It is.
I had no idea.
At the very end of this, everyone is required to give the people some last words.
Oh no, I should prepare.
Right? No, you did. It's okay. Because I'm going to give you a second before that has to happen. Mm-hmm. Is there anything at all that you would like to address, speak on, ask me? Period. I'll answer anything. If not, we're just going to go straight to the last words. Oh, hold up. Oh, yeah, nah. Oh, nah, not with all this. Yeah, I know. Nah, ask me something. Somebody say something. I don't like the way that y'all just smiling and laughing on either side of me.
I don't have anything to ask you.
Oh, okay.
I just immediately thought about funny things I saw on TikTok.
Oh.
Hold on. That would be like, it would seem like I was asking you, but like in real life, somebody would be like, oh yeah, I saw that TikTok. Like,
oh, damn, yeah, don't do that.
It's like, it's funny though.
Original thoughts.
What?
Okay. Then there are none. Cool. What are your last words for the people? Is it going to be, oh, well, you know, check me out soon, you know, scoopitsil.com/whatever it was.
How you gonna ask you for your ad? You said the ad, and I'm like,
no, I got it. I got it. It was
hold on, you told me to do that.
It's the scoop
with
Sil. No, but there's a dot somewhere.
It was a period. So
after with.
Should I find out for you?
Yes.
It is. It literally is.
The scoop with dot Sil. SYL. Hey, go ahead, throw yours out there. Maybe somebody was sliding. Somebody that knows how to speak to you.
Why is that funny? I feel like you think that I'm like overly like
somebody that knows how to speak to you next.
Right. Wait, why do I feel like he's giving me like that you're the bougie one and I'm like the harder one to speak to? Why do I feel like I'm getting that vibe from you?
No, you are.
Why do you say that?
All the listeners, probably about 35 minutes or so ago, it was a split screen experience. Maybe you know, I listen to everything. So she was over here. Sylvia was over here talking about how she gives people chances. It was the dude at the gym. Hold on, calm down, Mikhail. Okay, she does all these things. She'll give people chances. And then you, on the other hand, I just feel like there was a certain persona that came along with, no, I'm not following you because your content isn't necessarily what I need it to be.
Okay.
So then let me clarify. So if that was the vibe you got from it, okay, well, then let me clarify, because I thought that I clearly said that I don't not follow people because of the persona of it. If I don't follow you back, it's just because I felt like we didn't maybe have a personal connection, and you're not one of my close friends, or you're maybe not, like I said, like maybe an artist who I'm following your content. So one
of you has to be the harder one to talk to, though. Like, you can't just be equally easy.
Well, I feel like when she said that she's shy, I feel like I'm more like outgoing. Like, so I feel like I'm the person that like speaks up like all the time, like out. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like asking a question about like where directions. If I'm in a store, it's like, where do I get this? Or like, you know, I don't mind ever.
You're a little bit more vocal, so that would signal to someone that okay, they may be able to.
I mean, want to come off.
Do you think you're approachable? Do you think you're an approachable person?
I was just about to say, like, I feel like I automatically have the normal stereotype where it's like, oh, you're the light skin who's big. I mean, y'all know.
I like this.
Y'all know the stereotype.
Tell me about this. Do you really feel like you've been sort of marginalized in that way, and like people will not step to you and talk to you?
Yeah, but not necessarily just because. I mean, yes. For focusing on that point in particular, yeah. I mean, I do think that I'm not upset. Has that ever?
Oh, okay. It's never
upset you. I'm not upset about that because it's not like I'm out here asking to be approached.
Yeah. Because I've been upset in my life because people have told me that from afar, like I have come off as unapproachable to them. Yeah, and
I hear that all the time. About me.
Wow.
Yeah, people said be like, "Oh, that's like." I remember this one time in college. This one dude, was sitting with us at in the caf, and he was like, your voice isn't like what I thought I was gonna be, and I was like, I was like, what? He was like, I don't know, I just assumed you were just gonna be like real standoffish and real rude, and like he was like, you're like he straight up told me that, and I was like, no, like I'm nice. He's like, he literally told, like, he's like, I thought you were gonna be like the normal, like light skin, like standoffish, like you want a basketball team, like you, so I already got that. I was like, oh no, like I'm nice. It's so funny because like people who don't know me, even people who like have known me known me for years, they're like, oh, Mikkel's like super outgoing, like super extroverted, which like isn't wrong, but like people who know me, like Sil was like about to get at, like, I'm actually an introvert. Like, I'm actually shy. Like, you mess up my order at the restaurant, I'm not going back and telling you to mess it up. I'm not. I'm like, oh, no, this is good with me.
That's so funny.
I'm like, so can you go ask for some more ketchup?
I was not expecting
that. I ordered this. I just don't really like the way it tastes. I'm not going to deal with it. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Even like, yeah, so like that's
I'll always
just how,
say something.
Yeah,
but
people don't know that. People just assume that like I'm, because y'all know me personally, and you like, oh, Mikkel quick to pop off, but like
it's because Mikkel is comfortable with jumping the people that she knows.
I have seen
not strange,
you.
But it comes with saying.
I'm not going to tell you until we stop this recording.
I know what we're talking about.
Oh, I've seen you pop.
But that's when it comes to real stuff.
Yeah, Mikkel is comfortable jumping people that she knows.
I mean, if it comes down to something that's really important, something that's really close to me, or like really important to me, or like the people I love, I'm gonna tell you how I really feel. But like, if it's like certain things, like
I was like, I need to get out this house.
But if it's certain things that inconvenience me, like you mess up my food order, or like I want something additional, like I'm not. Sylvia, can you go ask for some?
I'm always the one. I'm gonna walk to the front. So how much is it to get? Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, like cutting lines and shit. Like my friends cut lines. Like when we go out, they cut lines. I'm like,
you're asking all the questions.
Are you sure we can cut this
line? Mikkel be in the Walmart. Like where do I go to get sriracha? I'm like, go ask the person.
I'm like, no, I'm not.
See, this is why
I don't like talking to people.
The combined energy of these two individuals is unrivaled, incomparable, and unstoppable.
Yeah.
Does it bother you when people tell you that? Have you gotten enough data to try to figure out exactly what it is about yourself that comes off as standoffish?
So something that I have been told like my whole, like, I don't want to say my whole life, but like since like high school, like people have always told me that I come off as I'm in a relationship. I don't know if that's the same as like being approachable. Wow. But I've always been told that I come off that like I'm taken or I'm in a relationship. That's the only thing I can think of in terms of like I'm not like approachable and stuff. But I
what's your sense of that?
So I recently had to acknowledge that I just think that when I go out in public places, I'm usually in my own bubble. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes being in my own bubble,
you don't give open body language and stuff like that.
Right. So especially because if I'm going out with my friends, like usually it's like I'm here with my friends to have a fun time with my friends. You know what I mean? So it's like I guess that radiates to others as if like I'm good. I don't need nobody else to enter. I'm not even thinking of nothing else. You know what I mean? Just tunnel vision.
Isn't it so funny all the narratives that we just spin in our minds about all the people we're looking at?
Yes.
It's so interesting.
So because of that though, I acknowledge that, and now I'm attempting to make a more conscious effort to be more open when I go out.
Yeah, people act like they're like professional profilers. I'm still
hiding with my friends, even though I'm like the tallest person there. Like,
right. I'm trying to be more open though. It's like I'm not taken. I don't want to be out here all the time. And people think like
I don't have a man.
I do not have a man. Please.
The scoop with dot Sil on Instagram.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, imagine that. Like,
now I see why you like her not because I'm standoffish, but because she's more open. Can we put it that way?
Right.
Well, what is your at?
You are standoffish.
What I asked you to give your at.
Okay, what do you mean by standoffish and internal and I mean introvert are two different things.
Listeners understand that I've asked her 3 or 4 times for her at, and she hasn't given it.
Okay, my at on IG is at Mikkel's World.
Oh, there you go. Mikal, by the way.
Yes, Mikals.
Mikkel's
World.
Yes.
Mikkel's World. Standoffish and introverted.
I think the two can exist at the same time.
Are two different things. Yes, but you think I'm standoffish and people come up to me, I'm like, come on.
That's not what I mean by standoffish. I just mean like what I said, being in a bubble. Like, I feel like when you're in a bubble, it gives standoffish. Like, you're not like, Yeah,
there's certain like body language and things that you can do with whatever it is you have in front of you.
Let's bring out the dictionary of standoffish.
That lets people.
I automatically think like negative.
No, it's like when we looked up judgment. Like, I thought it was kind of negative too, because I always say I'm not judgmental, but it's like, it's actually not necessarily like negative.
But we've talked about a certain individual who we equally believe is standoffish, and it is negative.
Standoffish. Fuck.
Thank you. The individual.
Somewhat aloof or reserved, cold and unfriendly.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what aloof and reserved.
No. But it's in conjunction with those ones. Standoffish is a negative term. So introverted is just means that you are like, you just to yourself. But it's funny because like people who don't really know me don't. Well,
introverted kind of means that you're just not charged being around people. It's not that like you just can't do it or you don't like it. It's just that's just not how you get charged.
Yeah. That's not how you get charged. We went to brunch this one time. I don't want to tell this whole story, but like whatever. We went to brunch this one time, and like I don't know
where she's going.
I don't know. I kind of want the story just for the fact that she's looking like she doesn't want to tell it.
Yes, remember we got in the car and we like walked. We're walking out the parking garage where there's like nobody out there, and then like we like go into this like place where like all these people are, and I was like, we gotta leave. I was like, Sylvia, we gotta leave. Remember brunch?
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. Well, and meanwhile, she's trying to like hold on to me, and I'm like, man, my dress is moving as I walk. Like, I have other things.
So there's a brunch. It's a Sunday.
Yeah,
somewhere.
It's like a weekend,
you're in DC.
Yeah. The waterfront.
You understand the waterfront.
Like, this is people. We like. Well, I don't know. It's like it was like once we walked out of the parking garage, it was just like all these people.
Because it's outdoor seating. Had you eating space? Like, had you been
accompanied or accustomed to brunch culture before this?
Yeah, but like that's just the way that I don't know. I just was not in my element. My element is not like dressed up, heels, out in front of people. That's not where I feel my most comfortable.
It's too much attention.
Yeah, too much attention. I get like super.
Yeah.
I mean, you know this. We've talked about this before. I'm like, I'm camera
like, for example, like
this is one thing I know.
Like, for example, Mikkel would never want like a surprise like engagement, like like the ones where people record it and it's like in a random place in front of everybody. You don't know who it is.
Are you one of those chicks that's gonna run away from the dude while he's on his knee?
No, I'm not one of those people. But I'll be really uncomfortable.
And that's not something like like when you see people at the winery and you just see an engagement happen or whatever, and
all
like everybody
photos,
and like you know what I mean. Like, haven't you seen I haven't seen them in a while, but it'll be like super elaborate. Like someone just comes up and is playing like this beautiful song, and then all of a sudden a singer comes out. Then all of a sudden you just see people that you know come out,
your family and all friends, and staring at you. And
you don't want it in the moment, but afterwards you're gonna look back like, thank you for doing that.
Oh no! I thought you were gonna say something else.
No, she doesn't want.
No. Let's do that in private. If you want to propose to me, like this is an intimate moment. Do it let's do this in private.
Okay.
And then after giving that ring, if we walk out and our friends, family are there to have dinner and celebrate, that's fine. But
because at that point you're wearing it.
Yeah,
but it's also in her group. And meanwhile, if somebody did that for me, I just like this is.
Yeah, she would love
I'd be
that.
like, oh my God.
She's like, no, you gotta have the camera here and the camera here, and everybody gotta be there. And boom,
I would literally be like, I cannot believe that you caught this moment and did it.
That's how I felt, and I don't know if you got to see it, but that's how I felt when Ryan Richards was on this podcast last week, and he talked about him telling his daughter. This is another Jay-Z Blue Ivy moment where he was telling his daughter every single day since she was born, "I love you. You're what is it? Like, I love you. I'm proud of you, and you're the greatest." Every single day, he doesn't miss a day.
Yeah,
and just one day. She looked up at this nigga and was like, "Hey, daddy, like, I love you and I'm proud of you." Yo.
Broke down.
Oh my God. What? Oh my.
Full on pursuit of happiness.
Oh my God, bro. I couldn't.
Beautiful moment. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's crazy. I would absolutely break down. I would absolutely.
Bad.
That's insane.
I feel like that.
You can't be a little, what?
Yeah.
A little person telling me you love me and your
thug tears gonna come out.
For sure.
Yeah.
I fuck with you too. I fuck with you
You
the
got
right way.
up, so you let her know, like, I'm still a man at the end of the day. I'm still your daddy.
I would break down. I would just let it happen. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's a good example of like the difference.
I'm very
like
that shit touched me.
I'm good at hiding that though. Like people people
won't
have
know.
no idea.
No
like
one
even people at work are like, oh, you're so awkward, you're so this. I'm like, little do you know, I'm sweating bullets right now.
That's really, really good because you were talking to me about being like camera shy or whatever the case was.
Yeah, like even in college, like interviews and stuff that I remember this one in particular when I was a freshman. It was like one of my first interviews, like post-game interviews. They asked me something like, oh, great game, whatever. I don't remember. I blacked out on the question. I answered and the interviewer was like, that's it? And I was like, yeah.
That's really funny.
He literally said to me, like, that's it. Like, I don't know. I just felt like that was rude. Like, I'm still a freshman at the same time.
Yeah.
Just don't embarrass me on camera.
But you know what was really funny though? At the same time, I don't know if you ever thought about this. You've been a basketball player since you were 3 years old. You've played in front of I don't know how many.
See, that's
people.
different.
But it's only different. The only difference I can see is that you're focused on something very, very intently.
Yeah, but I'm also something I just feel like I just thrive in. So I'm like, okay, I'm really good at this. So I don't. Yeah, like it's just tunnel vision. Like, okay, this is just. Like it's just like breathe. Like
what I do.
We're just breathing, right?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to other stuff outside of that, I'm like, why are y'all looking at me? Like, stop. Like, why is there so much attention? I don't like too much attention.
That's super funny. I remember my dad was trying to have this conversation with me because my beautiful little sister is super intelligent and she has a bunch of friends just like that fit that description. And he was always wondering why they were so adamant about being on social media and posting all these super cute photos and this and that and the third, but none of them want to talk to anyone. Like, leave me alone. Like, I don't want any friends. Like, I got my friends. I don't want to talk to anyone. Don't talk to me. Yeah, I thought that was very, very interesting. Again, it's kind of,
I mean, it's how like I am. I love taking pictures.
Yeah.
But like, if there's other people around me who are watching me take the picture, I'm like, Sylvia, let's wait till they pass. And she's like, okay, I'll go over take the picture. I'm like, no, there's people.
I will go set up with equipment by myself.
She will. She
set up the equipment. Damn, y'all got equipment when it's photo op time.
Like the tripod.
I will be
normal.
Literally, like when I have like recorded like reels, like be outside, like, okay, guys, I gotta go. Let me go get some B-roll and like record whatever. Like, if somebody get a picture, like I will go into a tunnel like.
Oh, but that's probably your role though amongst the group of friends that you be at. Probably any group of friends, unless there's someone else that's more of a digital creator than
group. I be getting flicks of my friends, okay? But they don't be flicking me like I be wanting them, like they be flicking them.
That was disrespectful.
They don't be getting you like you be
they
getting.
They don't be getting me like I be getting them.
You be getting the photos back and be like,
but they do
it's so nice. Like, thank
Sil
you.
provided the content of my last photo on my IG, and she had me looking fire. But it took years of training.
Another thing as well is that, like, we all go back to like perception. You know, like we all have a different idea of what we want. You know,
right? So you're looking at like, damn, you look fire, and you give it back to her, and she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But also, like, my head cut out the photo.
That's never the case. Like, that's never the case. But also, too, like,
it's not the part side. Maybe she didn't even get
there's also this thing too that like I never like verbally give all the details of how I feel about Mikkel's photography skills for me. You know what I mean? So like
look at her page. Kel's took them photos, and I be flicking her up, and she be looking good. Don't let her fool you. Don't let her
listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that within the 15 photos that she took of me, I didn't find one. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
But there are some where I'm like, that's never what I would ever want.
Well, yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
100%. That's normal.
So, but what I'm saying
how come you take 50 and I'm like, what is all of these?
So what I'm saying is like, it be the same sometimes feeling. I just don't verbalize it.
Yeah.
Like I found what I found. And I'm thankful for
Don't be
it.
fooled.
You know what I mean? Versus like Mikkel,
because I be flicking up the group.
way that Mikkel will talk to you, even in that moment, it just be like, I'm not even taking no more pictures. You take it for yourself. You know
and I said a role for her because she is a digital creator. So I'm assuming just in her mind, when she's just looking through a camera, like she knows the angle, she knows the way things
but also it's crazy.
Now when it comes to taking photos of me.
What's crazy too is like we all, even in our group, like we're all like very like compatible as people, but we all have like different senses of like style and like different senses of like what we think is cute. Like I remember one time I like told Morgan about a specific pose and she was like, no, that's not cute. She was like, that's nasty. I was like, oh no, she didn't do it right. I was like, wait, let me find somebody else. And I was like, she did it perfectly. I love this.
The bent over jump.
Yes, and Morgan's like, you think that's cute? Like that's ugly. Like that's nasty. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes like.
But can we agree that when you give the vision that you want, you show me what you want, whether or not I agree with it, do I not bring you that vision?
You do. But how many times have you brought me a vision to bring you?
I don't have to show pictures. Just boom.
So we'll take that as a no.
No, actually, that's not true. Because what do I do for you?
Specifically,
I'm trying to hear two different. What is going on?
Model. I do it for her.
I can't hear either one of you right now.
There was a time that I saved a specific photo that I wanted to recreate, and I showed the vision. Like, this is what I want,
and I did what I needed to be done.
I'm not sure exactly how we can recreate it, but this is this is what we're doing. So this is what we do.
And then what happened?
You did exactly that.
Because that's who I am as a friend.
But also, I gave her a guide.
Yes.
Right?
Without that, it's hard for these other people to capture the essence.
Here's the thing, though.
Initially, what I want.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Even if she doesn't give me a guide, though, I always do what needs to be done. So I just, in my head, I'm like, why can't what needs to be done be performed without the guide as well? And also, let's also be honest, because I have gotten to the point where I'm like, listen, let me show you the guide. I'll say, Sylvia, you sit here. I'm going to take a photo of you. I'm going to show you what I want. I'm going to take a picture of you. This is what I want. This is how close I want you to be with me. I'll break it down for you. Do I not do that?
Yes. But
these photos
I will say,
serious.
But also,
this is so out of my lane.
Something that I will say, too, is like the way that Mikkel has her photos and photographs is not the way that I want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so what I'm
saying is that how would you expect me to know exactly how to do exactly what you want when that's something that I would never want to do.
The same way that I get, I don't want to do none of what you do, but I get you out the
crux, way. That is the question that is at the crux of every relationship.
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to know what the fuck is going on in your mind?
And then in the midst,
if you don't tell me,
that's not what she said. That's not what she said. You're right, but that's not what she said. She said, "Why would I want that if I don't want that for myself?"
Imagine in the midst of it, somebody is like, "This is not right." Man, I cannot believe you doing this. You don't never fuck me up. It's like you. So even if I was going to do better, your verbal is already. It's not gonna go up.
Okay, but think about just years of this. So like, of course, I'm gonna get frustrated off picture number 50 because while I'm still looking like the crusty friend, when I just got you out the way, looking like saying, boom, boom,
if
boom.
I'm doing,
Mikkel, you're never looking like the crusty friend.
Sometimes I be looking like the crusty friend, and I'm like, just
think about if you coaching somebody, right? If you're trying to get your player to get that left-hand layup together.
Don't talk to me about coaching.
And like now you tell them how you're supposed to do it and you see they not doing it every time. Like, man, that ain't it. What am I supposed to do with this? This ain't cute.
But what if how we gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? Coach him.
But if that's always the feedback, it's like, I'm just not gonna go left.
First of all, no, I gotta hype you because when you take the photo, I look at it. What do I be acting out? What do I be doing? I'm like, okay, still, because you did what you. I be real extra.
Yeah, you know what she be saying? She gotta bring the pastor. You see what you doing now? Man, you really did your thing today.
I do.
The way that you are showing out currently.
Mm-hmm. I do.
This moment right here.
I'm letting her know that she improved.
This
moment right here.
It's like letting you know that you improved today, but them past times was ass, and I'm gonna bring it up while also giving.
But also,
it's a considerate way of doing it if you're going to do it at all.
Sometimes Mikkel won't flick me up the right way, and sometimes I'll just be like, let's just stop taking pictures.
Damn.
Like I won't even like.
I don't even want the photo no more.
Sometimes I won't even tell you like, man, this is really ass. I just will be like silent, just be like, you know what?
Yeah, but that's because she's upset at herself. She's not upset at me.
What has been?
Because I be flicking up. Listen, y'all.
One person.
What has been the biggest fight y'all had? Which have been the biggest fight y'all had? What was the thing? What was the idea? What was the thing?
The biggest fight?
The biggest fight that we've had.
You don't know? Mikkel, what was the biggest disagreement you guys had that erupted into something a bit more than it ever was?
I think we consistently irritate.
We always just be talking about what.
I think we consistently irritate.
I'm like, no, so like we just be petty and then be like, all right, what's for dinner?
Oh yeah, that's
it's never like
that's nice.
I mean, even our we talk about that all the time. Like we just talk about all the time. Like we don't be having like real arguments in our friend group because I mean, in my head, like that's normal.
Right.
There was this one person who used to cause issues with another person in our friend group, and we used to be like, "Why are you friends with that person? Like, that's weird. Why are you friends with that person?" Like, we don't. When our friends like, we're not friends with people like that, but like, we don't have real. Does that exist? Do people be having real? Issues with their friends?
Yeah, they just don't say anything.
Yeah,
and it's just a long running thing.
I have a background of like having those types of friendships. You know
so still was a person I still went through her business out there.
No, I don't care. I used to have like not the greatest friendships. I feel like with a lot of arguments that would happen. So I feel like that also like negatively affected me like moving forward with friends that aren't necessarily like that. Because then it's like when we get in certain disagreements to some degree, to me, I'm like, okay, so do I bring this up or like, is this friendship just, does this end now? Like, you know how it's like, because like most of the time it's
PTSD.
Like, I'm not fucking with them no more. You know what I'm saying? But like sometimes it's like, that's another thing with the book, Finding Boundaries, you know? Like now you have to learn how to like assert yourself and say what bothers you, what didn't work for you, like, but not think in your head, like, I just don't need to say anything because I don't want to have this type of like, you know, rift.
Yeah, no, that what friends
rift.
can get.
One of the words of the day. Rift. Can we look up that? Does that have a definition? Does that word exist? Rift.
It does. And what books are you reading recently, Mikhail?
It's like you got mad at me for not pointing out her words. I just did you a favor. You're welcome.
But don't skip over. What books are you reading? What we got?
I'm reading some leadership books right now.
See, leader. She wants to be a leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So again, the combined energy, like the things that you guys are not alike with, it makes sense that you guys would come together as a unit and make things happen. Okay. Do you guys want, this is a wild question. This is out of nowhere. I was just thinking this, I just need a woman to ask this.
I'm concerned.
No, don't be. It's really not that deep.
Okay.
Do you wish we lived in a world where you didn't feel like you had to wear bras? Like, do you just want to be free? And like, no, honestly.
Where does that come from? Where is that coming from?
I thought it was going to go like social media.
And the thing is, he said, and I just wanting to ask a woman.
I just need a woman to ask.
Bras. No, I have two.
Can we all agree that we don't want those?
What's your stance on that?
I mean, hey, this is a real conversation. There's a lot of things that y'all feel like y'all have to do.
What I will say is that we live in a patriarchal world. And most of the things that are created for women or the societal norms for women all stem from patriarchy. You know?
Wait a minute.
When you think about heels, men created heels. Like when you think about corsets, men created that. I'm pretty sure a man was behind the bra. Like I didn't look into that. We can look it up, but it just tracks.
Maybe
it just tracks.
It's very on brand.
I don't know. I don't necessarily know if the men wanted to hide everything. I mean,
it's not hiding. It's just the bust and like the illusion. You know what I mean? It's the shape that it gives. So I'm gonna say because the men were behind the corset, so it only makes sense. They're behind the bras.
Okay. Well, thank you for that pseudo history lesson. Would you like to live in a world?
I feel like where we are right now, though. I feel like we are in that very
that time.
What's the word? Like
that realm.
Progressive,
misfit, like progressive, like.
Yeah. I would like to
highly accepting.
We're there now. I feel
where
like
women feel comfortable doing what they feel comfortable doing, without being looked at differently for doing that. You know,
right?
It's like how Lizzo had that see-through dress on the other day at that party. Rihanna had a see-through dress on. Everybody was like, "Ooh, Rihanna, we love this for you." Lizzo's like, "Who let her out the house?" Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I want to live in a world where women can do
like fuck societal norms, do whatever.
What you like to do. You know, some women may not want.
So you're totally free to nipple. Free to nipple
Absolutely.
then.
That's what you want.
Free to nipples.
Yes. That's what you want to do.
Bring the nipples out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm with that. Now.
Absolutely.
I've given you all enough time for wheels to start turning. Probably didn't think about it in the slightest.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Somebody's got to do it. Last words for the people.
Go ahead, Sil.
He looked at you.
It's hilarious. I brought this up like 30 minutes ago.
He did. He looked at you though.
You have anything you want to say to the people? Anything you want to just impart them with? Like just, Nothing? Nothing you care for people to know about you, of your perspective, what you want to leave them with? Is some inspirational, motivational? Stay up, keep your head up.
Hey. Why do I have to go first?
You don't.
You started saying
you don't.
so I didn't want to.
Syl's the digital creator. What do you got for us?
She's the one with the content.
Digitally create right now.
Not digitally.
I'm gonna need you to create.
It's a freestyle. Like if you want to be an artist, you gotta be able to rap on site. Like that's what you're doing right now. It's like you want to be a digital creator, you gotta do it on spot.
Well, no, it's just really you're just a very high echelon intellectual woman. So I just want you. I just assume that you could just give it to me right off the top.
Okay, let me give you a little something. Okay. I guess the only takeaway or something that I would say is that, emotional intelligence is extremely important. Make sure you're doing the work to become a better person internally, externally, because it impacts the people around you. Growth is imperative. If you are not growing, you're just, I don't want to say I feel like people know, if you're not growing,
you're not growing. We don't gotta say anything. Yeah, you're not growing. Yeah, you're not growing. You should always
be striving to grow and do
anybody that's just at home, just man, fuck growth, nigga. Why I need to grow? That's
if you're looking at yourself and feeling like you're the same person that you've always been and nothing has changed and nothing has
I know people like that. I know people like that. It's no, I'm good where I'm at. What do you mean? I'm living life.
Never good.
Right.
I live every day. I get back home. I'm safe. I got a job.
Why do I need more?
Yeah, I don't need to know more.
And it's you don't necessarily have to have go to therapy. I know go to therapy is a great thing, but obviously you have to have the resources to do that. But it's go read books. Expose yourself to something different. Expose yourself to new ways of thinking and other opinions and other ideas that are out in the world to make yourself a more rounded individual for you and those around you.
Snaps.
And if you don't have those resources for therapy, right, like a clinical, therapist, there are other ways of therapy.
Right.
For sure. Read a book. Hikes.
Start a podcast.
Oh, podcast, yes.
No, we need room.
No?
She's like, no.
Is that your thing?
Go to a professional.
Get some books at the library. Men, are y'all reading?
Mikhail.
There are libraries in all neighborhoods.
Why are you looking at me?
Well, she's still going.
Oh, by my last words. I thought you meant Mikhail therapy. I'm thought on, don't do that.
Oh, no. I wasn't.
Everyone can get therapy.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at you specifically like Mikhail.
What?
So have you found
He already said that he thinks I'm standoffish and that I'm harder to speak to. That's what I got.
No, but I can, no, I don't think so. And again, it's going to be hard for me to tell because I know you now, but I can see that perception though.
What you mean?
I can see that perception. I can see why somebody would feel that way about you.
Because of the stereotype? Is that what you mean?
It's because you're attractive.
Oh, that was very kind.
There's nothing, no, and that's just the way people are. It's, you're attractive. Okay. That means automatically that you have more than enough people that are proposing, right? In propositioning. One, people have to understand that if too many people are thinking that, then not nearly as many people are propositioning you as they think. Because there are a bunch of people thinking that. So no one addresses you.
Right.
No one comes up. So that is something that happens a lot of time. You were just talking about it. Oh, they might be a little above my level. They're not going to like me. I'm not even going to say anything to them. That's wild. You know what I mean? So you kind of got to get
that was
out of
very
it.
kind. Thanks.
Yeah, but it just comes with being an attractive person, inside and out, honestly, and confident. If you're physically attractive and you show confidence, exude confidence, it's people.
It's intimidated already.
Yeah, it's super. And I also hear this about just black women, especially attractive, intelligent, successful black women. Y'all got, I'm sorry. Y'all got
we appreciate that. That's very nice.
Yeah, that drives people away. And it's rough. But that's why I asked y'all if y'all were ever upset at these perceptions, these narratives that people just spin in their mind about who you're going to be to them.
No, I feel like I don't miss. You said you're upset?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
I'm upset.
That's hilarious. I was about to say, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything that was meant for me.
Yeah,
and she was like, I'm upset.
Nah, but that's kind of
right, though.
I'm
definitely not missing out on anything that's meant for me, but it's I just...
Because if you're one of those dudes, if you're one of those people, maybe you're right.
You're not for me.
Yeah, so maybe I'm weeding
that's
out.
True, but also, it could just be that,
effortlessly.
you could just be a guy that maybe you're self-conscious and your confidence isn't everywhere, but it's we're all works in progress. So it's I too could be in that same group with you, but you chose not to say anything because you didn't feel great about whatever you felt on your end. So
true.
Now, Mikhail's last words for the listeners.
My last words. Oh my gosh, so much pressure. So much pressure.
I believe in you.
Well, since we're on the social media talk, be happy in real life.
I like that.
Yeah.
Be happy in real
Be
life.
happy in real life. I mean, like I said earlier, people show their highlight reels. They show the best parts of them as they should. It's their page, and they're going to expose to them parts of them that they want to expose to them. Just make sure that you're happy in real life. Yeah. And I'm like so big on this. Like, be 100% happy yourself. Like, I'm one of those people, a lot of people are very much like, oh, my partner, my significant other is like my better half. Like they're me and still talk about this all the time. I don't feel that way. That's just how I personally am. No judgment to those people. Like,
for sure.
That's just how I am. I'm not like you are my better half, because when you leave, that means I'm not okay. And that's not true. When you leave, I'm okay. Yeah. My half is here. I'm whole. And you add to that. Yeah. Like I'm 121% and then some. And like, I'm going to be with somebody or choose to spend my time with someone because you add to that. So like, be happy in real life and bring your own happiness to the table, because that's a lot of responsibility to require somebody else to make you happy.
Someone else is not responsible for your happiness.
Absolutely. So I'm big on that.
They're responsible for adding to it.
Exactly.
Making you more happy, but they're not responsible for you being happy.
Right.
Yes.
Agreed.
My last words aren't necessarily even for the people. This is going to be the first time I've done this. My last words are actually for you two. I just thought about this. I thought that is very, very cool. I try my best not to take things for granted. I mean, we just kind of always are, because we're just stupid humans, just run around this world trying to figure things out as we go. That's just what we are. But I try my best not to. And me texting you two and being like, hey, listen, I got this idea. I put a lot of thought into this. I'd really like both of you to come. And immediately, now I don't know what happened behind the scenes, right? Like when y'all were texting each other outside of that chat. But from my standpoint, y'all came with the quickness and was like, yo, I'm there. Like I'm there. What you said, whatever you need.
For sure.
You was like, I'm shy, but I'm there. Like I'm shy, but I'm down.
It's out of my comfort zone, but I got you.
Yeah. And so, I don't take that for granted. I think that it's super dope for me to be able to just like hit people up, like cool people hit people up and be like, yo, I need a favor. Any way you would like to come through and do this thing with me? Yeah, sure. Bet. What time? Like when we there?
Right.
Like that, I don't take for granted. I think that that's super dope. So I really give it up for my family, my grandmas, my aunts, my dad, mom, everybody that had a hand in raising me. Right. Because clearly it formulated this guy that can make those types of calls and text messages, right? Like that wasn't just me. Now you say that we're going to have the energy that we're going to have right in the womb, right? Like we're going to come out with this energy. So maybe that there was some, I don't know what I had. Maybe there's some predisposition that I had. I was supposed to always be this person or whatever, but then I don't want to diminish the work that my parents and the village put together, right?
Sure.
Nurture and nature together. But whatever it all is, all this stuff that I don't understand, what I do know is that I do understand that I'm grateful for having people like you all in my life that will just jump up at a moment's notice and come do this with me. I think that that's like the dopest fucking thing ever. Honestly think that like my superpower is like my friends. Yeah. All these people that will come together. And I think with what I just said, I think that I just cemented my mission for this.
We're friends.
We went from semi-friends. Yes. To friends. High five. Do it.
What a weirdo.
High five.
God.
Why are you slapping me like this?
I was just really.
She went like this, and then you high five and said, "Why did you?"
I was much more excited than you all about that, and that's completely fine. That's cool. I have no
just
problem.
explain to people that you're just my brother, anyways. Like I just people ask like, "Oh yeah, how do my brothers just do that?" It's just like there's no explanation. It's just like all my brothers came over and helped me with that. Oh, my brothers did this.
And what's your explanation, Sylvia?
Thing everyone knows that
because you're not saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to help my brother Earl."
Yeah, I just say one of my friends.
Okay.
You know, like,
all right. I'm like that. I'm with that.
Yeah.
Episode 85, by the way.
Wow, good for you.
Woo, right? I know, right? We've been doing this 85 fucking episodes, man. It's been like a year and some change I've been doing this, man.
Good for you.
You've been listening a whole lot. Thank you for your support, Mikhail.
Of course.
Thank you for whatever support you've given me as well as being here. I don't really know.
Of course.
All right, man. All right, people. That's it. That's all we got for today. Thank you all very much for joining in. We're out. Peace. And spacebar.
Wow.
Whew. All right.